あ、もう今日のマッチアップ出ないままいっちゃった。待って、俺口頭でじゃあ伝えるわ。あ、でも口頭で伝えたら俺結果見ちゃうんだよ。まあいっか。このまま見ていくか、じゃあ。やっぱダークゼロとルミノシティ、まずこれから見ていきましょう。マジで下のスライダーで出ないのがすっごい腹立ってきてる。今イラついてる。クソほどイラついてる。ほら。じゃあ行きましょう。1試合目はダークゼロとルミノシティです。お、リタカさん、こんばんはいらっしゃい。本日はお疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます。NA グリム好きだからな。
near that A chance at cocktail portion of the map, they will get spotted out. That's going to make those nades so lethal with those live pings from Rise and Gavin. That's 4 nades in their pockets.
ハードブリーチなしか。
Very classic DarkZero gameplay right now. And that benefits LG because they're not.
まあガビも調子いいけど、どっちかっていうと俺パンパゾーだと思うよ。パンパゾーがやっと本領発揮してる気がするけどね。
To create that line of sight in towards what would be the default plan from the bathroom mirror window.
出たね、洗面所のミラー。
え、
何この金魚の、これ欲しい。このチャーム欲しい俺も。あんなのあったっけ？
ダ
ークゼロらしい止まってる時間があるね。スタドカンデラ、そこに投げていくんだ。うわうわうわうわ、イーストまでもう行きそうだぞこれ。いたー。ただエイジャンがどこかで止めてんな。いやいやいやいやいやいや、パンちゃん無理がすぎる。パンちゃん無理がすぎる。それは全部カンデラ1個で1個1個キョッポ潰してたじゃん。パンチは無理がすぎるよ。それやったらもうレインボーシックスシージ何でもできるじゃん。あきねこさんこんばんいらっしゃい。ね、イグジスト俺も勝つと思ってた。クレスの仕上がり相当良かったけどね。なんかラインがすごい綺麗に合ってたわ。ダークゼロここ勝って上位に浮上したいね。そうすると2位以内見えてくるからな。
kills immediately. I mean, Slothy on Mirage is definitely a player who did it. Ashen did it a number of times when we watched SSG. That's obviously just the tip of the iceberg. Newers has been doing it for several seasons.
なんかライスの進化がまだいまいちピンとこないね。いやー、ほな入りきってないんじゃないこれ。いるぞピップに。いやー、ちゃんとドローン入れてるね。偉い。
It's been interesting to watch so far. You mentioned how Grimm's pick rate has been increasing, and he's on the board as well for DarkZero as they try to isolate.
エイジャンが限界ポジション。でも思った以上に8入ってない。だいぶカバーラインは敷けたね。ああ、白階段側から。いいハサミだね。今パンチはどこ乗ってたの？パンチは外のなんか出っ張りに乗ってたのか。よく見えてたのその写真。お、来たサイレント。サイレントのディスプレイいいよね。裏側光ってるやつ。入れたけどだね。3v3 でエコー残ってて30秒。盤面的にはだいぶダークゼロきつそうに見えるけどな。どうなんだろう。あ、ここでベーカリー詰めに行くんだ。うわ、8がいい8。それはさすがに1がバレないんかい。あれこれ手荷物にいない判断するのかな。あ、しないんだ。いやー、これベーカリーよくと返したね、ツイズ。お、嘘でしょ。プラントいけるこれ。いやー、いけねえか。
able to stop it, and DZ cannot control the clock well enough.
お、大福さんお疲れ様です。こんばんは。お願いいけますか。
They know this.
お待た
They're a
せ。
smart enough team. Whether they know it and can actually accomplish it is a totally different question. Either way, Kitchen going in favor of Luminosity. A third bomb site will now appear. LG
LG
not
が
going
いついな
back
くな
to
った
the
か
top
覚え
four
てない
bomb
け
site
ど、
that we
シ
saw
ー
in
ズン
round
10
number
か。
one.
あ、
Instead,
じゃ
they're
あ
going to
プ
go
ロ
to
リ
the
ー
middle
グ時代
floor
だったってこと
for
だ。
reading and dining. And immediately, one of the
日本明
other
日で
most
メジャー行
damage
きの2
acting
チーム
operators,
決まりです
Brava,
か。そうです
free
よ。
and clear to be
フェー
used.
ズ1とフェーズ2の
Information
戦いは
from
10月
on
頭
that
にあるんで
top
すけど、
floor. DZ will likely
東京ゲームショウ
flush
の
out
関係なんです
everybody
よ。
on the second floor around Cocktail before they can try to
明日
push
決ま
into
ります
reading.
ね。
We've
と
seen
りあえ
time and
ず
time again what happens
メ
when
ジャーの
teams
3
don't
枠
do
の
their
2
due
枠
diligence towards Cocktail and go for a reading execute with defender still above.
で時間
Doesn't
空け
usually go
て
well for the attackers.
フェーズ1行くチームか
No,
フェーズ
already
2
he
行くチーム
suffers
か決
one
め
grenade
て
doing a
そ
bunch
の
of
後
damage
LC
to
で
him,
す。
but there's still one left
まあ
in
なんだかんだ
pocket
で
of
9月
Gavin.
中旬ぐらいま
He
で
pushes life into the
終わ
bathroom
り場に
upstairs,
ウィス
and he's
いら
the
っしゃい。
first line of defense. But there he goes. Eddie goes down.
おーいいね
No
ガベに。
nade needed. Gavin just walks into
いやガベにやっぱ
piano.
アタ
The
ッカーでき
Bravo
るんだ
work earlier
な。
from Canadian from DC did a great job just checking for gadgetry. The new piano
カ
was
ナディアン
entirely
ブラ
clear.
バ
That
好きがちだよ
song
ね
we spoke about during
カナディアン
the
ブラバ好きが
pre-segment
ち。あ
before this
と
match
ソリス
started
好きがち。
basically come into fruition there. They knew it was clear. They could walk on in. There was no grim gadget. But look at that. Sometimes
い
you
や今
hold
ちょ
an
っとな
angle
ん
and
か
just get
視線外した
smoked
瞬間に
anyway.
勝負されたね。
I'm not going to say that you
ハンちゃんと
deserve
しては
the
不
kill,
本意だろう
but
ね。
certainly looked like Panda deserved that one. I would love to see a slow motion replay as to how he didn't prevail in that first
早
battle.
めには取れたけど、
Either way, back to a 4v4.
今の
I'd
さ
be miffed if
F
I
ナ
was
ッ
on
ト付け
DarkZero.
替えて
Oh yeah, it's
ない
gonna
じゃん。
suck. I mean, you had the advantage, now you got 40 seconds left. But
Lucky
good
じゃ
news,
lucky だよ。
you only really need these 40 seconds. Destroy the floor as Rice is currently doing. Drone out the bomb site like a Gemini from Gavin is currently doing. Drop into pillar, walk into that bomb site door. You're in a great spot to play.
NA
There's
見たせいで
no bomb
RGL
now,
保護
but a
出てた。
single C4 from
お
LG.
いそれは
And
なん
C4 is
か
likely not gonna
頭
reset
隠して
default
尻隠
position.
さ
So
ずみたいなのがある。
DC, they can easily make a play here.
You've still got Rice in that position above, as we talked about. You need to hold
What?
on to second floor. This gives Canadian an
Ah!
opportunity to get the diffuser down. LG are just inches
ショットガンの距離。
away. They don't seem to be
ショット
aware
ガンの
of
距離。
this. Gavin trying to isolate these players, preventing them from getting on in. Canadian, after getting the diffuser down, takes
あ、ま
matters
ずい。
into his own
読
hands.
書の位置。
Gavin, though,
こ
looks
れ
the
上から見れ
wrong
てる
way.
のか。
Snake playing by reading door. That's a bit of a mistake
い
for
やでも
DZ
よ
to
く
not
プラント
clear
通した
that
ね。
out. Twisted a spot.
いやカナディアンの位置がバレてるね。まあそうなるよね。
There's Twister wrap around.
いや上から見られてる。
Suddenly, he and Snake are inside the bomb
リロード
site,
する
but you know
余裕
what
な
they haven't done on
い。
Luminosity side? They have not cleared out that top floor.
こういうセットプレーさせたらマジでうまいね。
Diffuser
DarkZero
way past the halfway point. And this will be tough as now DarkZero, one player up and one player downstairs. Snake past the point of no return. Wasn't able to get to the diffuser. At best, he could get a kill and ultimately still lose the round. NJR decides that he's not
Going up with DC. The bomb's not in your face, but then
イグジスト戦見始めた途端に負け出して死神だった。
a little bit more passive. I think they have to
そうい
commit
う
to
こ
a
ともある。
playstyle. Either full scented and thrive in that chaos, or simply try and, fight DarkZero on the fundamentals. No, the issue is, I think DC has the better fundamentals here, so I don't think you want to approach it that way.
for us. Since we're not in whatever voice program they use to communicate, I'm assuming it's TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak.
We're not privy to how much communication is going on at the time. It certainly seemed like LG were not aware of the diffuser going down.
Yeah.
It's possible that somebody was talking and they missed the sound cue as Canadian got in a reading with diffuser in hand. Especially given the proximity of
DarkZero 3
Quest,
ポイント欲しいですな。
back was to the very same wall that Canadian's back was to. If only that wall could be shot through, they could have very easily stopped that. But that's just how close it was, and LG seemed to be caught with their pants down on that one.
They did. So again, intel is a big issue for them. Of course, Solus is great if Solus is alive and able to use the gadgetry. But Solus won't really know if you're planting until, well, you're literally in the animation of doing so. I still think they could pick up some more bulletproof cameras. They tried the echo on that kitchen and kitchen bomb side. No maestro yet to be seen. It seems like only OXG will play that particular operator. Whereas DarkZero, yeah, they're in the attack, but they're playing the Brava. Now they're playing the Flores. They thrive off intel. And guess what? It's always Canadian, the leader of the team, on those operators, because the more drones that he has in his pocket is the more time he can spend gathering information to make the right, the right call for his team and where to push those entries.
シガーラウンジか。ああ、やっぱ洗
He's
面所
flushing
取れ
them
てな
all
かっ
out.
たか
There's
ら
a minute to
な。
go. They've lost Pamba. This is LG's very
Imai
first
mamotte.
uncontested
Ah.
first blood. Canadian somehow blowing himself up with a Rotero drone. Now that is impressive to say the least. I've never seen that before. Gavin marching into the bathrooms and absolutely assassinating Silent.
さんこんばんいらっしゃい。
Still holding on to this spot. This is a cocktail defense.
ともぞうさんから見て競技シーンで SG 増えました。さすがに攻めはない。攻めはない。攻めはねあれ。アマルと火花がごくごくたまにある。でも増えた印象はないけど、そうセカンダリーのショットガンで勝つシーンが増えた。例えばリージョンが新しく持ったスーパーショット。
1v3. It was a 5v3 for Luminosity. Diffuser dropped as Rice dies with it in hand, and now Eddie needs to retake the top floor. But there'll be a set of eyes from DZ in this position, and Gavin seals the deal, denying the second
essentially. And so I guess happened. Like Hambasu has been a deal, and that's
カナディアンラテロでさ自爆するってなかなか難しい系統だぞ。
Look at the kills for LG as well. They've had some serious
ショットガンもまあまあわずかだけど。
getting on the score sheet.
You do have to play,
全く使い道がなかったよりはワンチャン使えるシチュエーションはできたかなぐらい。
like a worst case scenario if you want to say it like that. I think 3-3 is like the expected outcome. They're down 1-3. So you take the time out now. You get yourself into a stable position for when that side swap comes around. When you go into the attack inside, because if you go down like 1-5. You don't have the most confidence going into your attacks. You know it's going to be hard. You know it's a tall task. Mirage but the mirror windows are not really.
謎すぎんだけどどうやったら自爆できんの？
Right? They play pretty static behind them, and both times inside that
あれか流して自分で詰めたパターンかな。それだったらワンチャン
both times.
なんか爆発とタイミングが神がかり的に噛み合って飛んだってのあるかもしれない。それにしてもだけどな。
Double, triple checking everything with drones. Nobody's been to a gunfight yet, and this heavily favors the defense, of course, because time becomes an issue for the attack inside. But once cocktail gets cleared, well, guess what? The bomb site is no longer in reading; it's that mining bomb site instead.
いやーこのハサミうまくない？ダークゼロ試合法ごとに連携のキレ確実に上がってんな。今全然反対方向から挟んだからね。うますぎだろ。いやそれをねさせるのがうまいんだよ。あ、
Oh, Snake. That's unfortunate. I mean, you can take the time that you need if you're DarkZero. If you just go explosive, in 20 seconds time span, get 2 kills. I mean, this makes up that slow pace earlier on, but they still need to find a stable position on the bomb site where that diffuser can go down. 30 seconds left. Charge on Brava has 2 smoke grenades in pocket. I'm sure those would be beneficial in this round to deny some lines of sight and get him a safe passage in towards the bomb site. But
that's a sloppy gunfight from Rice. Snake is unable to do anything at this point. Frustrating situation, I'm certain, for Luminosity. They knew the location of Silent. All it took was one player to hunt him down. Snake being immobilized. It's Eddie in a 1v4. Snake can go on his gadget, but there really isn't all that much he can do. Easy will get the diffuser down. They have no idea what's going on. It would have been incredible if DZ had choked that one out and lost the round. Just a waiting game at this point. Snake at least seemed to be smirking in his camera, so...
Oh, he moved. DC must be so confused, right? Because like, no one can find him. They don't know what's happening right now.
めっちゃ走って頑張ってめっちゃ走ってる。
Really something, isn't it?
こんなことあるんだ。
Yeah, because it's so winnable. Like
これ多分リホストだな。これはちょっとアンラッキーだね。でもダークゼロ戦なんか技術的にトラブル多くねえか。なんか毎回テックイッシュ発生してるの。なんかダークゼロ戦な気がするんだけど、気のせいか。
weren't exactly sure on what the approach is going to be. Indecisiveness maybe, or new intel being gathered and picked up upon. But right now they're droning. EMP can go out, Gavin can fly on in maybe and see if they can get something going. Or he can walk away again. Actually, I'm so confused.
ランニングマシンにスネーカー乗ってたね。
They have to set up for it.
A team that is notoriously slow and has been quite slow so far on this map. Bringing a lineup that suggests speed and violence, yet not opting for either of those is certainly a decision. There goes the first logic bomb, by the way. Candelas as well to go off. Could this be the rush that they were looking for? Yes, it is. Gavin hot on the heels of the Jaeger, but Hambazu dies. The coverage for DarkZero is not good enough. An unideal position to find themselves in, and now the Jaeger will again regress. Rice, very sloppy gunplay, allowing Eddie to get that cross kill. Amazingly, a 3v3 between these teams. It certainly looked like DarkZero had lost out when Pambazoo died
すごいよ
first.
な。このさ、1回攻めでハードブリッジはいないんだぜ。
That is such a
壁を割らないといけないっていうシチュエーションがあるはずなのに。
Good news though, Gavin has 2 smoke grenades. They could easily smoke off one portion of the bomb site and take on the other with the blitz. Can just run on in, has that shield and the protection. They did lose the Ying, no Candelas. And it's Canadian NGR though. So not your typical cast for entries, but we said earlier, NGR is so capable at doing that entry work. Oh, Snake, you gotta run away.
いや、まい。
Or
Wow.
just do that. That works.
The blitz shield does not cover all of you. Gavin charged on in, but it was not the play that was needed. Now Twist fishing for a kill. Looking over towards Prep. That MP5 is a formidable gun. Eddie, another kill. He's been
いや
fantastic
で
so
も
far in this
NGR キル
round.
取ったとてなんだよ
NJR in the
な。
midst of the bomb site. He's getting pinged away from the
ベ
yokai
ーカリー
drone.
ディフューザードロップし
Needs
ちゃ
to
った。
find Eddie, needs to find Snake. Doesn't hold on to the
い
diffuser,
や、
so
これは
that
も
will
う
be
常
the
にか
bigger
全然覗く
challenge.
必要がない。
Need to get 2 kills in under 10 seconds or get that diffuser down. Both of those tasks out of reach for NJR right now. What a great round.
Luminosity いい立て直しじゃないで
The
すか。
very first
あれ早かった。
record for DarkZero's executes Luminosity, bringing just the smokes on Capitao. So I imagine outside of that, it's more about getting
そう
kills
ね。
and isolating
縦
those
オペレ
defenders.
ーター
Similar to the way
の
that DZ
改
approached
変
his
が入る
very first take onto Cocktail.
イエスちゃ
Snake
ん。
dies to
こんばんいらっ
Pambazoo,
しゃ
who
い。
jumps out of the
あ、ロリ
window
カさん。
after those 3 kills in the very first round. He had some difficulty finding the score
あ、やり
sheet.
きれなかったの
Pambazoo
か。
wandering back in, but he's a doc. He
しか
gets
も
himself
毒
right
だった
back
から
up.
回復しちゃったね。
Canadian picks off another player from LG.
うわー、腹立つ。腹立つピークされてる。
On their entry, LG already down by 2, and they might
腹
suffer
立つ
another
ピークや。
defeat. Eddie charges up
あ
white
れ
stairs, and there
そ
he
れ勝っ
goes
ちゃう
to
んだ、
the
ライス。
hands of Rice.
あららららら。
DC's teamwork is just so good in that round. Pamba goes to the aggressive play, which is exactly what you gotta do to stop that execute from happening. And if he does it solo, he would die on that window jump in. But Canadian, he impacted the window to allow Pamba to jump in quicker, and he covers him and trades the injure for a kill. And Pamba's docked, so while he's injured, he just stims himself back up to full HP. And look at this, DC in a 5 versus 1. Asian, last alive, literally on the roof, 3 flashbang, 1 air jab in pocket. Can't do a thing in this round. They lost a lot of drones, utility, and just simply manpower. I get why Eddie rushed up the white staircase. You're already down 2 members. You might have do something crazy, maybe get a kill or 2. But even that was shut down immediately by DarkZero. They had the intel and they had the crossfire.
The good thing is for Luminosity, you're afforded
You gotta
enough.
hold on.
Maybe over first, LG have used the
Look at DarkZero's discipline.
information being given from Canadian, and
ほらね、カナディアンソリス好き
aware
でし
of the
ょ。
fact there's a nomad on the board. We're only
相当ソリ
30
ス好き
seconds
なん
into
だ
the round, and Canadian has actually
まあ
spotted
IGL やってるから
all
情報を
3
拾える
air
と
jabs,
組み
so
立てや
that's
すいのかも
very
しれない
valuable information that he can relay to the rest of his team. Seems to be evading them quite well, though I don't know if he revealed himself
めっちゃ
through
プレッ
the
シャーかけ
door.
てる。
Hazen is aware of it, obviously hearing the impact grenades. You might not have actually seen the operator, but the sound cue is more than enough. After a successful hold upstairs, DarkZero will use their defenses back on the top floor, even though this is a second defense of mining. It went one time on the first half. It went in DarkZero's favor when they were on attack. How can they accomplish and what can they accomplish on defense?
いやー、ファストバック取るね。うわ、飛び出して、うわ。
Cut down as well. Goodbye to the Nomad. Goodness gracious. DarkZero in the first 90 seconds of the round have eliminated 3 players from Luminosity. It's
い
just
やー、で
Twist
も
and Snake.
白階段ちゃんとカバー来てる
This
じゃ
is
ん。
grim for LGs. They're looking to just hang on to this round and hang on to this matchup.
You saw the setup there. Canadian early in that round, opened that rotate,
い
cleared
や、
the
画
air
面にやっ
jab,
ぱ
but
り
now
プレーに
Gavin
大胆さも出
got
て
2 kills and then
さ、
escapes back the same way. And look, he has
す
a
ごい良
member
くな
on
っ
the
てる
white
よね。
staircase too. They're baiting Snake in here.
いや、これまんまと誘われてるぞ。
2 versus 1. You might think there's only gonna be one guy, but look at that.
おー、う
LG
まい。
with a great read. They pick up 1 and
お
they
ー、
pick
上から
up
挟ん
2.
だじゃん。
No
あれ
flawless
これ
round
3v2
2
全然
had.
この時間帯だったらある
Luminosity
ぞ。
fighting back, but still not in
なん
the
か挟み込
position
んだ
that they
ね。
want to be in. Though keeping things close is ideal. Canadian will head downstairs in what I imagine will be the place that a Solus rests in a potential
かな
post
り襲い
plant,
かかる
but
チャンス。
that might be a tall ask for Luminosity to get into the bomb site and get that diffuser planted.
これ中距離がね。
Ooh. If Troy swings this, it's a free kill right now, but he doesn't know that. He's got doesn't have that range.
Oh my, Twist looking towards reading, but doesn't
NGR いいところ
understand that there's
置いてたね。
somebody playing inside of
列
mining.
車展示の列車の中
Down
か
he。goes. Snake doesn't hold on to the diffuser, a decent gun in hand, but 3 players from DarkZero in the final 20 seconds. You're going to need to go for kills.
15 seconds to go.
Snake knows this. Premonition around the A bomb site. He gets the pick, but it's traded out.
かなりこれはダークゼロペースと見ていいんじゃないでしょう
Keeps
か。
DZ from going there on a very pivotal
Match
and
point
crucial
for
round in this matchup.
I honestly think it's a very simple bomb site to attack. You go top 4 down on the roam clear, you play buff and or sledge, and you just do your verticality and you execute, right? You want to play these bomb sites that are difficult to attack. So, utilize the fact you have a mirror, utilize the Solus, play those multiple floors. It's what Canadian loves, it's what DarkZero loves. And the reason why we saw mining being played by both teams is mostly in part due to the fact that Mirror is on the table. Because mining used to be a bomb set that you would only play if you had Mirror. That's of course changed with time, but it's kind of seeing that pattern again where if Mirror is open, mining becomes very playable, rather favorable, and that kitchen and kitchen bomb set is just very simple to attack. Look at LG. They don't really seem too comfortable right now. Half they're on the spur, they're dealing with the Goyo fires, they're barely entering these first 3 rooms. Solus is downstairs
ルミノシティはなんか決めきる力がちょっと弱いかもしれないね。いやでも思った以上にちゃんとシージしてるけどね。よっぽどステージ1とかのパラベラムとかの方が微妙かったかな。それに比べるとちゃんとシージやってんなと思う。俺結構ハッチした左側開ける方が好きだよ。なぜかっていうとすぐ左が壁だから変に相手の車線に入らない。そうだね、かなり前パルス使って多分情報を取って防衛の際の IGL の組み立てにしたいんだろうね。
comes together to be part of the reason why DZ is succeeding. NJR tossing on a nitro cell, down goes Silent, but Twist trades back on to Gavin. Gavin was blinded earlier on and playing keep away on that top floor. Another nitro cell tossed out from DZ, not as successful as the first. Ultimately finds nothing for it. Luminosity now with 40 seconds. They've got control on that top floor, but they need to get into the bomb site. Snake has an idea as to where one player is as that proximity bomb goes off from the lifeline. Now some of the wall under reading will go. As Twist just waits out the fire. The Goyo canister going by reading door. Snake hustled on on white stairs, waiting to get down himself. He can't do just that just yet.
15 seconds remaining.
Once that fire goes, Twist will break on in. Snake could have been a huge part of holding on to that, but NJR with a shotgun in hand get some work done. Rice credited with the kill. Diffuser going down. Coverage from LG not good enough. A's in the first night. Eddie and Twist in a 2v4 with Canadian still downstairs. And it's Rice's world that we're living in right now, reducing Luminosity to just Eddie. He's in a very strong spot on the top floor, over top of the diffuser. DZ will almost certainly dispatch somebody upstairs. Eddie hears the sounds on that diffuser. He gets into position, but he gets dropped. There's no way for him to be retrieved.
逆に車線入っちゃったね。
That's the game. DZ 7-2 in a statement
いやー、ダークゼロしっかりと3本。でもこの試合一番ダークゼロの仕上がり良かったかもしれん。NA 見てきた中でかなり仕上がってたね。問題の2チーム来たぞこれ。ちょっと早い。SSG ソニックス。カナディアンハゲてきた。まあそれを言ったらペングもそうだからな。
This works out quite effectively
着々と俺の仲間になりつつあ
as
る。
long as there's no Caillou on the board, you can get those hatches open quite quickly. Use 3 of the 4 to cause some serious pain. There's lots of hatches at the disposal. There's one inside of main lobby. There's one inside of elevator. You've got the open area hatches. You've got the back hatch and square. In fact, those are 5 hatches you might need to take care of. And that's just on the first floor to the basement. A lot of teams will extend upwards to that second floor, and then you've got those hatches as well up there that you need to be concerned with.
銀行か。SSG の連携力は問われるね、銀行は。広いマップだから。ペングはハゲない、もうインテロがハゲない。インテロでふさふさじゃない。
He sees an engagement but can't capitalize off of it, wasting time for the time being. As Ashen is in hot pursuit.
あ、引
That's
いてない。
close.
うわ、いいフラ
He
グ。
stayed for a
あー、ちょっ
second
と逃げ
longer.
すぎ
He
たね。
probably would not have got out of that alive. But the roam
引か
game
ないんだ。
from
ここで当た
Sonic
る
is
んだ。
very effective so far. Even Forrest downstairs in the basement taking a bunch of damage onto the Monty.
フォレストの持ったとこ。
And so far, Sonics is still sticking
Whoa,
around.
whoa,
Look at
whoa,
that,
whoa,
and
whoa.
he's got the read.
ハシなんでそれ言った？
There's two separate players from Space Station that were trying to get him out of his spot, ultimately not prevailing. Otten had taken a lot of damage
微
earlier
妙
on.
に焼け
Forrest
方
now
してんな、
taking
そ
some
れ。
lumps
それ乗り越えだ
too.
ろ。
Suddenly, Space Station find themselves in
いや、フォレ
significantly
ス
worse
削られすぎ
shape.
じゃね？
Not before they've been able to tear strips off of Gunner and Citizen. Fultz walks right in. You still haven't cleared open area. You thought you had, but
ソニックスは
Gio
ね、
is
昨
lurking in that
日
position.
立て直してきてて、
It's not Citizen, but
なんかウィーク
somebody
1、
from
デイ
Soniqs
1、デイ
is
2は
still
もう
there,
ボ
and
ロ
they're
ボロだ
able
っ
to
た
make
の。
you
マジで
pay.
ドローン回さないし、何やってんだこのチームって俺が若干キレ気味に言ってたんだけどさ、
teammates on that Astralis roster
見
brought
違
over
える
to
ぐらい
Space
気の良くな
Station.
ってた。びっくりしちゃった。
One of those smokes will go out. No smokes remaining, it looks like, from Forest.
もうあれか、スモークがいない構成珍しいね。残り30秒。うまい踏まされとるよ。
That will slow down and deal damage over time. Gio another kill this
で
time
も
on a
すごい
J90.
停滞しまくってるぞ。
No protection for the Monty
SSG。何してん
Forest, who
だ？
pulls out the sidearm, gets punished by Rexon. Hot and cold, the only hope for Space Station to deprive SQ of a flawless round.
何今停滞してたの？なんかさ、モンタがサーバー攻めするのはいいんだけどさ、それ以外のエリアが全然取れてるように見えなかったけど、何してたんだ？
SSG wanted after
バ
the
ウトさん
results
こんばん
that
は。
we've seen from them up to this
お仕事
point.
の後に配信お疲れ様です。いやいや、見に来てくれてありがとうござ
I
います。
am
逆に。
interested to see if Space Station is
RJL も
able
見てくれて、
to
こちらも見てくれてありがとうございます。
get themselves out
俺は
of the
見ない
position
と
that
追
they
いつか
found
ない。
themselves in through these first
あらら。
4. Oh my.
あらら
Oh no.
Maybe
レ
not.
クゼンこうやって戦わせるとマジで強いよ。
They're not even allowed to get into the
あ、なん
building.
か SSG が崩壊する音が聞こえる。
This is just a classic Rexon live around. Like he's just gonna do all the dirty work, just win those gunfights. easy peasy,
SSG
and
がなんか
if
音
you're
を立てて
SSG
崩
right
壊する
now,
音が聞こえんだけ
it's
ど。
not like the round isn't literally lost, but
これ
when you're in this
SSG 壊れたんじゃ
position,
ない？
3 versus
だって全然連携取れないし、エリアの取り方もおかしいもん。
and your ace, it is statistically a lost round. They need to now come up with something else, a clutch, an impressive push, find some kind of crazy, a big gap somewhere in the defense. But as I mentioned earlier, the pliable shield, frost mats, the mirror windows,
給料もしっかり払ってるイメージあるから。
it's very difficult to find any gaps here, and they also have very limited drone work now, as those drones are tickling away very quickly.
ここでまさかのグリム最強説出る。今
There
フル
was
ス
an
ミスった
operator
よ
you talked about in our very first matchup. We're seeing yet again, but at this point, for dislodging defenders or even worrying about the anti-flank, maybe it's a bit too late. You're so heavily outnumbered at this point, but things get a little bit better for
Yeah,
Space
Pulse
Station.
de-
Down goes Citizen.
落とせた
More
の大きいぞこ
importantly,
れ。
there goes the Pulse
パ
as
ルス落としたの
well.
大きい。
The only active operator on this squad that can give information
単
as he
純に
goes.
この
SQ
ロングの
answers
車線
back
から抜かれたの
by
か
J90. That's
現地
your
からの
traditional hard
資料
breach.
まで通って
Again,
る車
no
線。
SSG
い
liking
や
those
これ
secondary hard
覗
breach
き方見て
gadgets.
ると全然クリアリングできて
They're in
な
the
いね。
hands of Fultz, who clears out with no intel whatsoever at the top floor.
あれ、賞金まだいるぞ。
The timer continuing to
Oh!
run away. Rexon gets the
どう
read
いう
onto
こと？
Fultz, lined up for a potential second onto Forest, but Forest is
なんかエレベーター
miles
は丁寧
off.
に覗いてたのに、なんで賞
One
金
of
今
the
そんなに
keys to
雑
the
に覗い
Soniqs
たの？
doing well is for Rexon to immediately start off strong. Time after time, Rexon ends up in the crosshairs of fans, and even
いやで
sometimes
もワニパニ
us
シ
for
情
having a
報によ
slow
ると
start.
さ
4 kills, no
SSG
deaths
ス
for
クリーム
Rexon
は
is
バチクソ強かったらし
pretty
いよ。
darn good so far for 1.5 active rounds, soon to be 2 rounds.
俺はみじんもそんな気配を感じられないんだけど。
Diffuser. He's just going to give the round to Soniqs as the clock
4
runs.
試合やって3ポイントでしょ。
Yeah. Round. He's just like
オーバータイムで
what
全部
happens
1ポイントずつ拾っていっただけだからな。
Soniqs, who can kind of spearhead the roam,
ゼロ勝
while
でしょ。
Garner, Citizen, and Gripster can just run around the map.
インタビューでフォクサーが言って、へえ、そうなんだ。
Mozzie getting shown up by Citizen.
いやまあでも今日のイグジスなんかもそうだからな。アンバーコーチ言ってたけど、やっぱりスクリームでできてた頃が多分3割ぐらいしか出してなかったんだよな。
Mutant Smoke shaping the defensive meta for years.
いやでもそこ乗り越えないとマジで世界に行けねえから。
deciding to go.
IQ 高いなこのマット。
That's
genius.
あこれ俺も使おう。このマット IQ 高いわ。うわ
He's so smart. He's so smart. Like it didn't really make sense on paper, but look at that. He just stopped the full bomb side rush
天狗
from
も笑うとるがな。
J90.
Do you have like some like early access to their strats because the Teller's Archives defense on Bank is so uncommon, and you mention it, and now all of a sudden we're here.
It just made sense with how they played the first 2 rounds. Like, it literally fit this bomb site so well. It's like, they gotta do it. It's too good to be true. And they're doing both so
yet
far.
Again going to Soniqs. That's 3 rounds in a row, Nick.
Oh, it is. It certainly is. And look at this, SSG. They have no idea where they are roaming at. They have no clue. They're chasing ghosts.
Still have plenty of drones, but Soniqs have had such an advantage in all of these rounds. And
やばいってこれマジで SSG
frankly,
情報全然取れてないしさ
only the second kill
カバーライブしけてないんだ
through
よ
these 3 rounds. Rexon on 6-0, is that it?
Yeah.
A 6? I can't tell.
That
It's
is
either a 5 or a
I
6.
actually can't tell. I think it's a 6.
I can't tell if that's a 5 or a 6.
Oh, it's funny.
Ashen trying his best. He and Hot and Cold
いやなんかも
combining
う
for
組み
one
立て
kill.
ぐ
Using
ちゃぐちゃだぞ
utility
この
to
チ
open
ー
things
ム
up. We saw the bees go out as well. Problem for Ashen is that you can't vault that. Ace isn't that slim. I'm sure in real life you could probably find a way to shimmy through, but
お
hold
ワン
on
ダ
a
作った
second. Space Station is equalized now, and
個
it's
人技でな
2v2, so it's no laughing matter anymore. Soniqs having 2 players sitting inside the bomb site, effectively waiting to die as the diffuser in the hands of Hot
いや
and
すげえ
Cold
取り返され
is
た
attempted.
無理これでもプランといけない
Retake by Soniqs.
うわ強っ
Rexon, what an impressive round from
今
him.
ドローンで管理してたから後ろ向いたんだと思うんだけどその時点でもう間に合ってなか
Have
っ
a clash on Geo. And Lassing said on the disc that Geo statistically is one story. But
たこれ実は SSG アカデミーにプレイさせて嘘でしょ逆に SSG アカデミーの方が今強いんじゃないのこれだったら
Because he is an invaluable player to have. You cannot measure
い
this
やな
kind
ん
of
か
stuff.
その
Now,
ドローン役とかじゃなく
Geo
て
has played Clash
クリアリングと
before,
進行するタイムが1ミリも合ってねえんだよ
but we don't really see
あとカバ
this played very
ー誰がどこに寄るかが全然合ってない
But what Clash gives you is that you can poke up a staircase, sap some players, and
い
especially
や
you can cancel that
ゴリゴリのアタ
certain
ッカーだった
portion
は
of
ず
the
なの
map
アシ
that
ュみたい
attackers so love to go for,
ところ
and
が
slow
蓋開け
them
てみた
down
らサ
and
ポ
make
ー
it
トだっ
very
たんだよ
difficult for them to deal with it. J9 on
だから
Capital
ガミンと
with
一緒じ
those
ゃない
fire
ガミンも
bolts
ダーク
is
ゼロ
like
来た
the
時に
only
さ
real counter that
サ
Space
ポート
Station
だったけど
has
さ
to deal with the
実際こうやってやらせてみるとやっぱアタッ
Time
カーの
is
方が向い
already
てんだと
ticking
思う
down
じゃん
pretty quickly. 140 to go.
さっきの第一試合ね
Honestly, at this point, the measuring
最
stick
近も
of
う
the
嫌な
round
嫌なとか
for
結構分かりやすい
SSG
ア
is
タッカー
not
使って
losing
る
somebody early on. 3 rounds
新規グレード戻そうで
so
分
far,
かる
Soniqs have gotten the first
いや多分
pick in
いろいろ
all
や
of
った
them,
結
not
果サポ
usually
ート
just the
が
first
他
pick,
の
but
選手と
usually
の
the
バランスを
first
考えた時
two.
に合ってんじゃねえかって話になったんじゃない
Prior to that tail
むしろ
end
期
of
待
that
しすぎてん
round
じゃない SSG が
was quite
なんか
impactless.
あらゆることができると思ってサポートもやらせてるみたいな感じになってるんだけど
Again, touched
実
upon.
態としてはアタッカーなんじゃ
Timer
ないか
still running down. Bolt's losing some HP, Hot and Cold too. Now it's J9 able to get that secondary hard breach down. All the while, Soniqs have a treasure trove of these late round operators. 2 nitro cells on the board. One in the
ここから
hands
こ
of
こから
Rexon's
こ
Kaid,
っからマ
another
ジ
from
で
the
SSG の
Warden.
クオリティ
We've also
が
got the Yokais from Grixer
今シーズン
that
整ってるかどうか
are
分かる
likely
よ
still
残り1分
safely
切っ
at
て
play, but we
こ
haven't
こまでの
seen
タイム
where
マネ
they're
ジメントは悪
located.
くない
And
こ
then
こ
of
か
course
ら
the
地下だか
Clash.
らセットに持っていけるかど
Just
う
like a
か
Monty on attack, Clash gets stronger the fewer opponents you have to deal with.
Yeah. And I mean, how are you gonna
あー
clear
まあ
out
確か
Geo?
にそうだね
You're a Jackal, you can't do it. They can smoke off the mirror, etc. But as long as Geo's alive, you can deny one
い
part
や
of
で
the
も
bomb
最初
site
は
with
さ若い人を
CSG.
さ
They're not
俺
gonna
はア
go
タッ
just
カーに
get
置い
to
て
take
負荷を
you.
少なくするべきだと思う
Go for the run in. SQ gets the first.
うわ
pick,
絶
letting
望
it
ア
in.
シュン
There's the
側
Clash, exerting influence
いや
over
ここに
Ashen.
クラッシュいるだけで結構き
Soniqs
つい
get on the board just as SSG answers back. SQ holding their
あさばけない
Ashen
その間に
toying with the Clash
現地が削られていく
All the while, the timer
なんとか
continuing to
倒したけ
run
ど
down.
これで残り10秒
Removing the Clash from server. Now it's Bolts to run through Garage. These pushes from SSG are not close to each other,
これ無
but
理
they're
です
still
無理です
working
無理
out.
です
Citizen taken down. Grixer.
いや今のもおかしいのよあそこにクラッシュがいるっていう認識だったら今の攻めの選択普通取れないのよ
The Soniqs still
サーバー取れてないんだからさだっていくらさタクティカルクロスボウでスモーク切ってその中でプラントしようとしてもさクラッシュがサーバー側に残ってるからさエリア的には挟まれて真ん中でプラントするってことじゃんそんなリスキーなことできるありえないよねごめんなさいこんばんはSSG が壊れていく音がします
wanted.
これはもうむちゃくちゃです
Use the timeout and get a little bit
理解
closer
できん
after using it. I mean, I guess
理解で
that's
きん
the
し
bright spot that you can look at.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to be Mr. Positive, you go, guys, we almost won a round. But the issue is, you didn't win a round. And if you're SSG right now, I
し
think
かも
you
その
just
クラッシュに対処するためにさ、アシュンと誰かもう一枚回すわけでもなくさ、よく逆にアシュン一人で対処したよ。そういう話だぞあれ。
We saw Rexen last inside a trade room. What he can do?
レクゼン7の1。やばす
They
ぎ。
might be changing their own pace. They've been fighting
入れ口だ
every
から。
chance they have been given.
レクゼン漁業になってる
And
からな
now,
今。
when that fight
大量
presents
バター上がっ
itself
て
for
る。
Rexen, he actually
だって
drops down the
なんか
hatches
ポジショニングしてる
to the
時
space
に
station.
1v1 ずっと仕掛け
No
て
one's
くれた。
really here, but they don't know that. It's just Gunner inside of janitors, surrounded by mute jammers, but the hatch is also opened up. He too can fall back when he wants to.
Oh, wow. SSG getting on the board first.
いや、アストの頃は逆にその尖り切ってたからさ、で尖り切ってそれを実現できるアイコニックっていうのがいたんだよ。いやでも俺別にフォレスだけの問題じゃないよ。それを容認してるコールアウトが悪いんじゃないだったら。俺はコーチが止めないといけないと思うよ。いや今のもさ、スケールのロックがなくなってんだよね。
Ashen sees Gunner, but ultimately can't capitalize
普通に
on
アシュン
it.
を嫌なにして。
Get away without yet another death. Nitro Cell tossed up in desperation, waiting for somebody from SSG to take the bait.
ホッタンとかの良さも消えてるもんな。
Doesn't hit.
Does not hit. The fact that Gunner actually survives that gunfight is very important because having 3 members alive on the opening bomb site just means you can cover everything. Double door kitchen walk in, main stairs double door walk in, and the hatch drop. So just having one more gun alive for Soniqs is huge for them. 30 seconds still to go. No calls from Dokkaebi, but he got 6 flashbangs and 2 grenades. Space station, if they use the utility correctly, they can easily get into the bomb site.
あれまずいぞ、そこに2人いなかった。
Nice by Forest. Another grenade goes down, just narrowly avoiding Rexen, who doesn't seem to see the diffuser being planted right in front of his very eyes. He takes down Forest, but the information is just not there. Rexen to clutch out, can't get it done.
A win in overtime at worst case. You see them go back to back.
SSG はアストライス組が合流した時にアストライスのコーチがそのままやってます。
Soniqs,
アルティメットゴロイさんこんばんはいらっしゃい。
early on. Really, when you do think about it, it just has been a game of incrementalism.
そうね、今シーズンフルーツなんかハードブリーチャーしてるイメージあるんだよな。
2 kills
確かステージ
in
1
round
で違
number
った
2.
の。
3 kills in round number 3, almost all the kills in round number 4, coming down to a 1v1, and then ultimately winning round number 5. Now, things seem to be regressing in this round as there's 2 early picks for SSG. Things regressing for Soniqs, of course. Space Station eliminating both Rexen and Geo so early on is great.
昨日はマジでバチクソ強
SQ
かった。
continues to regress, then we will have a very competitive match.
だからこの試合は、まあ、ソニックさん当たり方もうまいんだけど、なんか SSG の攻撃に穴がありすぎて。
I really like what they've done so far. I love Hot and Cold on the nuke, just circumventing this intel game from Soniqs. They didn't have Valkyrie last round, now it's a problem for them. So Soniqs, they go on to Valkyrie, but guess what? The nuke comes into play. Now they think they have safe intel, but in fact they don't. And to make things worse, the Dokkaebi has hacked the cameras, so now those Valkyrie cams are working against the defending team. Soniqs, they're locked out of the bomb site basically at this point. The space station, you can tell from how they're playing right now, playing very passive. Not take any risks to setting up the bomb site. Soft destruction when I get those hatch popped open. They know they got this in the bag as long as they don't make a huge mistake in this round.
ドローン回ってきてない説ある。
You've still got so many offensive threats for Soniqs. Ditto for SSG, but they're not the ones staring down the barrel of the gun. There's the logic bomb.
ああ、本命こっち
Space
か。
station so close to wall.
ああ、ロジックボムで3枚裏に分かった。
Bomb site. Citizen still on the board. 1 kill for him. Grixer goes down. Citizen
さすがにや
follows,
な。
and there's the round.
And Lush, he also still
シズのポジション。
Valkyrie cameras. Thatcher.
攻撃の時は結構サポート寄りが多いよ。
So
あん
Solar's
まり純粋
invasion
なア
are
タッ
like
カー
your
じゃないけ
cross
ど、でも
twos
こ
for
こ足取ってんね。
SSG that Soniqs can't do that much about. But it's actually the Echo that's gone unnoticed for just a moment.
いや、部屋
There it is. One nuke has
ああ、
shut
なんか
down.
ゲハみたいなところを借りてんじゃないかな。なんか自分の家っぽくないんだよね。
All needed was the timeout and some confidence for
もしかした
Space
ら環境
Station
を提
to
供して
warm
もらっ
up.
て
I
る
mean,
のかもしれ
obviously
ない
with a team that has this level of skill on it, the players that are on it, it was only a matter of time before they got themselves back into this
ピッチさ
matchup.
ん、フォローありがとうございます。
Goal for Soniqs is to not get complacent.
まあでも2本取ったから。
Frustration seemingly overcoming this team, but that's just an
首の皮
outside
一枚で繋ぎましたよ。
observation. Obviously, we don't have access to the way that they speak to each other. We don't have access to their comms, but just observing
ソニックスはやっぱちょ
mannerisms,
っと不安残る
body
ね
language, which
Day1、
obviously don't
Day2 だ
always
った
tell
か
the full
ら
story, but seeing both of those things at live events,
ワイルドカードにぶ
there's
ち
certainly
壊され
times
て
where
る
it
リ
looks
ズム
like Sonics can get irritable.
連携が問われ
That
る。あれ
irritation
これ抜けて
leads
ない
to frustration, which then
Ooh,
ultimately costs us the
Damn.
staff a bit of a bad game. In this particular
This is
instance,
シーズン出ました。
somebody who so infrequently has bad games,
ク
Citizen,
リック強すぎなんだ
swiftly
よね、シーズン。
removing the solace of Fultz roaming upstairs.
That's a very big opening
ゴーヤ
kill
ジャンプ
because
さんお疲れ
now the
様です
Jungle can just do its job for Sonics.
日本は明日
and
世界に行くチーム決まりますよ。
Citizen
とりあえず
so lethal
1
on
チーム
the
決まります。
doesn't always play that role, but in that round, well, he sure did it.
SQ は福利構成しっ
Now
かり
we
して
see
る。
SSG force Nash
わ
and
かん
trying
な
to
いけど。
squat up in this main
でもなんか
staircase
そのあたり
area,
俺ス
but
ーパー結構優秀なんじゃないかなと思う。まあどこまで返してるかわかんないけど。
Down goes
マネージャーとしてもスーパー優秀
J9O,
そうだな。
follows Forrest gone
キル
too.
が映ってるかわかん
The
ね
only
え。
player still
何が
alive.
起きたの
Ashen is
もう 1V5 なんだ
technically
けど。
alive, but bleeding out. Not particularly useful, and then finished off by Rexon. That's a
今スタンもちゃん
flawless
と入っ
start
て
to
た
the
ね。
second half by Sonics. They
こういう
resume
連
their
携
reign
なん
of
だよ
terror over Space Station.
they went out of nowhere. It didn't look like there was on the basement kit. Other than that, so I like the
Half, so they're
ス
just
ーパ
going
ー
to
パパ
be.
でもワニパニ情報によると各チームがドローンをあまりに回さなすぎてぶち切れてるらしい配信で。
There's leadership on this squad, so they can get it done actively, but obviously not having access to their coach call out is a significant challenge, as he's shown how effective he can be when timeouts are called, especially at live events. Like during the Six Invitational earlier this year, that we were tracking how effective
いやでも
timeouts
攻撃の
were.
キレ良くなってんなソニックス。1週間でこんなに変わるもんかね。いやでも本当に Day1、Day2 ありえないくらいさドローン回さなくて何してんの何してんのって俺ずっと言ってたの。なんで情報取らないのってずっと言ってたの。
And then they win like
俺スーパーといい酒が飲めることに
rounds.
気づいた。
That can't be
俺
a
も全
coincidence,
く
right? There's
ア
gotta
グ
be
リ
some
ーだ
good
った
value to be had there. But right now it's Ashen looking for
ペング
value.
大先生も言ってる。
Sticking with this room, not falling back, just fighting it out.
このゲームはマジで攻撃はドローンで情報を取るっていうのを前提としてるゲームだからさ。
but the warden can't escape an untimely death at the hands of Grixer.
あ
And
あ、
that
今ちょっ
lobby
と欲
window
張ったかな。
repel. Yeah, you lose Citizen. That's
アレクセ
particularly
ン
troubling.
そのロックが刺されば
Zero only set a secondary hard breaches, but Sonics have more in reserve.
危ねえ
Both the Ace and the
お
Hibana.
互いに危なかった今。
J9O
いや J9O
barely
生
getting
存
away
で
with
き
his
れば
life
OK でしょ。
intact as he toils upstairs inside of that trading room.
時間だいぶ2回
Drops
使わせたん
back
じゃ
into
ない
the open area bomb site.
Some bad timing there for Rexon. He was holding the anchor for so long, and of course, the moment he looked away, what do you know? That's when J9O swings. Perhaps he just has good game sense. Minute to go, traded 1-for-1, but look at the operators, right? You trade Buck for Warden. What do Sonics really need right now? A Buck. That soft destruction is so vital for this
ああ、
open
そうか、
area
これ
on
バ
side
ックが
of
いないからだいぶ
janitors
きついね。
and
まあ
stop
でもクリックサーがいるからワン
trading.
チャン
I'm sure
突
they
き上
can
げで
hack
きる
the
のかな。
cameras, but there's no Valkyrie in play. So you only really get those default
証券は
cameras
突き下げ
and
ないとだね。
that's really it. No bulletproof camera either. Very low value from looking
4枚が
because
結構
of
イージー
the
に割れるかもしれない状
inside.
況なんだよ
With 30 seconds left to go, Sonics, they gotta make it explosive
最近
entry
ス
towards
クエア
the
割
front
るチーム
side.
ほんと減ったね。
Explosive is absolutely correct. The time
あ
is
れ視力取
continuing
れて
to
ない
tick
ぞ。
on
どうすんの
down.
これ残り20秒しかない
Talon shield still in the hands of Geo, but he dies at J9O's gun.
いやハッチ移してほしい。
Taken down by Gunner.
ハッチ移してほしい。ハッチがどうなってんの。うわガンナーがエリア広げた。あれ
No, Grixer, you hop into the
まさか
frostman.
のマトゥー。
Time still ticking for Rexon, who needs to find the final player, and it's Fultz to get it done by the.
Don't know what you-
いやでも今のマットは攻められねえな。あれはもう現地にいる味方のカバーしないといけないから多分ハッチダイブでオサ落としてで削られても後続で倒すみたいなプランだったんだと思う。おシーズンがラムちゃん使ってる。
Sonic still have their timeout at their disposal. Have got us weigh in on what she thinks is going wrong with this team if there continues to be choppy and rough waters for SQ. It's nice to see a bomb site though that doesn't get played all that frequently. By my count, we haven't seen a top floor defense yet on Bank. I don't know if my note keeping is incorrect, but that is a bit of a rarity with Bank, especially since we're now 9 rounds deep.
Well, you are correct.
Oh,
And you know, that's just the craziness of Archive tellers. It will
クラッ
change
シュ姉
things
さんと
up
か入れ
pretty
てなんとかするしか
drastically.
ないよね。
One thing I wanted to ask you is we're maybe a more opportune time as this clash seemingly courting
うわ証券取られて
the
る。
attack.
いや
Looking for more than one pick can only get a
シズンさん
single one before being dropped.
嘘でしょ。
SSG
い
winning
くら
out
ラ
of
ム
these
姉ちゃんが
duels.
硬いとはいえ。
Currently sitting in a 4v3. All they've lost.
いや今日ね早く終わりすぎてさ RGL がなんかそんなにね2マップでは頂点終わったんだけどさラウンドそこそこしたのに
Yeah, the clash is an issue here.
結局なんでシーズンがいた時の実っていまいちだったんですか。チームで何やるかがまとまらなかったからです。いくらいい選手揃ってもそれは全然あり得ることだと思う。ここはちょっとシーズン見るところが多すぎたね。メイン回で音がしたから勝負したんだけど、クラッシュ残ってるところちょっときついね。3v2 だと。
It's an operator that you don't want to deal with when you're at a disadvantage in terms of numbers. Swing or be swung seems to be the motto for both of these teams. Gino finds himself in a 1v2 and you're right, the clash still on the board. This will still continue to be a problem. Nicely played.
ショットでも肩が見てれば OK と。
Now
マッチポイント取りたいね。ソニックスとしては。これで0ポイントだと SSG も結構脱落コースじゃないか。
Not give up the opening kill, play as a 5-stack.
そうね、EXIST はグループステージの仕上がり見ると俺も絶対勝つと思ってたんだけどクレスの仕上がり良かったね。まああとアンバーコーチも言ってたけどやっぱりあんまり実力出し切れなかったかな EXIST っていう風には見えたけどまあでもねそれは出さないといけないのがプロの世界だからね。まあ何でも一緒だけどさ一般の人も一緒だけど次がありますにはならねえからなプロはな。
I don't really think we saw the potential of the OSA on previous attempts by Soniqs. I wonder if we'll see anything this time that can
検討してもらえればまあ有力候補は EXIST になるんじゃないかなって気するけどね。
Electro shuffle does not work. You saw that EMP get tossed onto the wall and now what is known often as Kanto spot has been opened up by the Selmas. Puts Forrest in a bit of a tough spot as if he tries to get out of there. Anybody watching those Selmas will have a brief view of his legs and could result in a very quick pick for SQ. This round is just almost at the 1 minute mark. SQ struggling with some of those observation blockers. They want an opening through the rear panels into office, but they can't get it. I'm not sure why J9 decided to swing onto Rexon. Hot and Cold swings as well. Down he goes. Ashen, the only person able to pick up the kill so far for SSG. Soniqs continuing to brutalize and push their way through. 4v2 with 40 seconds left. Ashen seeking some comfort now in hallway.
いやーちょっとこれは長さんが重いぞ。ニトロねえし。ああ割れる前に行っちゃった。いやーよくかばしたなこれ。ちょっと手順間違えたね今。いやーでもマッチまで行ったね。これでまたしても3ポイントはない SSG。オーバータイムの可能性もある。友堂さんは世界に行く3チームどこ予想ですか。 RGL、スカーズ、CAG、ノーセプション。
Upstairs on CEO means every single bomb site has now been played. Cafe was the first map that we saw today. Every bomb site was played on that map as well, which is great, even if mining was only played twice. It's usually Teller's Archives that receives.
今の NA 最弱はビーストコーストだね。
I suppose the least
赤月さんこんばんは。今日もお疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます。いやビーストコーストはマジで本当に残念も残念すぎた。あんなにステージ1良かったの。ああでもトリスタン確かにもう一回見たいね。バチクソ強かったぞ。これ久しぶりに個でこんなに覆せる人初めて見たなと思った。それぐらいインパクトエグかったよ。スポイト並みだったけど。あこれクリアリング漏れたっぽいな。いや勝負したのか。あこれ突き下げと合わせて勝負したのか。レクゼンが取り切れなかったんだけど。当たるね SSG1 回で地下なのに。
Fultz is on the hunt. Bomb site down below in the basement.
妖怪でバレた。
SSG wanting to pick up as many points as possible, still searching for their very first victory in this stage.
ソニックバースト食らってるやん。頭に当てる前に先にソニックバースト受けてたやん。
By that Teller's, I guess desk you could call it. It is indeed a desk.
おかしな人がいるぞ。
Does not go his favor, and there was support as well. As Hot and Cold's Yokai was able to disorient Citizen, but still ultimately not enough. There goes another
シージって別系と同じでやっぱり財政難だと思う。まあ全体的に e スポーツチームが今財政難だからしょうがないよ。バロがどうとか関係ないんだよな。単純に e スポーツチームがもう金がねえって。あとなんかやっぱり今コロナが明けてきてて世界的にやっぱりそのPC ゲームバブルは終わったらしいよ。周辺機器とかゲーミング PC の売れ行きがやっぱコロナ中よりもやっぱ下がってきてるって話聞いた。あの50秒か。
Now it's Geo to drop amidst the smoke with diffuser in hand.
うわ
Nitro Cell goes out, but it's Grixer again stealing the show.
よけた
in looking for more than one kill. He gets them both.
フォレスト
A huge moment from
すげえな。
Forest.
よくいったね
We'll
今。
need all 12 rounds as that's 5.
アシュンいいね。熱くていいよ。若者が引っ張ってきて。
So very well could have been the other way around. Either way, it's been a great match so far.
トモさん、ハブのファーストマップから2マップ目の変化に関してどうかこれでもハブの変化っていうよりスカーズがギア上げたってだけだと思うから、まあ、なんでカフェだったのかなって、まあ、そのスクリームで手応えが良かったってだけの話だし、まあ、バレル戦も良かったからだとは思うんだけど、いや別にファブはなんか別に落ちたわけでもなんでもないよあれは。
Space Station actually had to postpone their games in Stage 2 until he hit 18.
ただ俺はスカーズはもう国境をやんない方がいいんじゃないかなと。まあビオファイブはしょうがない。この人いやー抑えきった。ただ削り合い SSG 有利。これ立て直せるかだね。決めに行ったはずが別のところのアクションが潰されちゃったね。
No secondary EMPs. This is going to be mostly
フォレストさんはエンターテイナーだからさ。勝つとか負けるとかの断りの外にいるから大丈夫。
Depending on the way that the bomb site is set up, Geo could walk in, set the
階
shield
段
down,
側
and
誰
actually
か
go
見
for
な
a
いと。
plant right in the doorway.
でも下に
As
結
was
構
noted by you early on, there was an echo on the board. Roaming or not, those
そのまま行く
Yokais,
とまずいぞ。
if they're in position, they can still
いいの
knock
かジオ
Geo
階段
out
側
of the
全然見てない
plant.
サーバー階段が一人いる。
Give time for Space Station, either use an impact
こ
or
の
an
パーティションが
explosive.
マジでよくできてる。今気づいた。
Know where Geo
行くん
is.
だ。あ上から撃っ
Bit
た。
of trepidation from Fultz.
Geo 負けちゃった
Shutting down Geo. Now Grixer blowing open the wall.
またオーバータイムじゃんこれ。
Process will give his position away. Just under a minute to go. This is a bad spot to be in for SQ.
いやグリックよく
Grixer
耐えたけ
almost
ど
finding two, but Fultz
さ
just
すがに
simply
ソニックバースト
overpowered
と
him.
ダブルピーク3人目は無理だった。またオーバータイムじゃんこれ。何やってんのソニックス。
Where they
目切れよ。
earlier on only picked up 2 rounds.
乙女させるチャンスだったぞ SSG に対して。
Open area attacks. And oh my. Third round out of 12 or 13 with this round with a clash. We're seeing a lot of new stuff here, and I'm all for it.
Really are. A fun fact coming in from our good friend Jesse J. Chick on the desk.
Okay.
SSG have lost their last 3 games in a row, all in overtime, and 2 of those,
インテロも同じこと言って
including their very last 2 matches, were lost in round 15 in 1v1s.
Oh.
Heartbreaking for the fans, and obviously heartbreaking for the players too.
Now that is as close as it gets. And this is the thing when you swap sides in OT. You gotta all of a sudden be the one to
エン
take
ター
that
テイナー
control
フォ
and
レスト
go
対
into
ヒューズ
attack.
立てコメディアンかな。
The pace right
ちなみに
here
今
is
日は
not the quickest from Space Station. We
大
got
福さん
two
そのタイミングでい
others
たかわかんないけ
in
ど
open air. I think they just struck
カナ
the
ディア
hatch
ン
by
が
now.
コメディアン
Yeah,
プルかましてたよ。
And then we got this
自分でフローレス使ってるのにラテロでなぜかキルログが発生してカナディアンがどう死んだかみんな誰もわからない。
Oh my Geo.
いやこれなのよ。先にこれでクラッシュをこういう風に対応しないといけないって決まってればすごいいいんだけど。
Yeah, they use a lot of utility to
こ
get
れは
it
見
done,
事よ。
but if you recall, the
リソースちゃんと
last
かけてさ。
execute by Space Station on this bomb site where there was a clash in a very similar position took an awful long period of time to get rid of him. You've removed him very early. That's
いや
good.
だからちょっとカナディアン自分視点で上げてくれないかなと思うんだよね。どうやってラテロチャージで死んだのかを。
That's normally how you die. If Gio was playing closer to the rotate when the Cavita would have shut out the firebolt, he could have just walked back, probably survived, or at the very least only would have died to the A hatch being opened up. But by playing all the way back to see both Dirt Tunnel and the Servador, you risk that you're too exposed. That's what
いや
happens.
でもこれ早めにクラッシュ落としたから
And Riot Fire
選択肢は
defeat Nate
ぐ
at
っと
your
広
feet
が
as
ってる
well. You
早めでも
die.
ないか残り
30
30
seconds. It's still gonna come down to those very close gunfights near the
今日いい
bomb
ね
side because SSG they got 20 seconds to go.
セーフティゾーン
Well, that DMR does
Dark
so much
Zero.
damage. And
バレテーラパンテーラ
rushing him through
ダブル
Mirage,
ピ
but
あれ
Soniqs after suffering the
あ
first
れ
casualty.
これさやっぱ SSG 途中で一回停滞すんだよ。そこでどういう配置になってるかの読みと情報収集されてる感じするな。シルバーさんこんばんは、仕事終わりですということで今日もお疲れ様です。おスタースクリームさんも今日もいらっしゃい。
For those of you that weren't here at the start of this matchup, which was almost an hour ago
カ
at
ナ
this
ディアンは
point,
もうレジェンドよ。
talked about the
もうレジェン
standings
ド
and
どころじゃない
Soniqs entering
レ
this
ジェンドオ
match
ブレ
with
ジェン
9 points. Next closest team was Mirage at 5 points. Soniqs are not really in fear of losing
いや今の
out,
してたの普通の
falling
勝負
down
だ
the
ね。
scoreboard and the standings for this stage.
急にフォレストがいいんじゃん
With a loss, still in pretty good shape. Citizen dies early on. There's a minute off of the clock. Space Station hanging on for dear life in this matchup, looking still for their very first
まあでも
victory at one
飛び出して一矢報いるぐらい
regulation.
の勢いなのかこれ。
But a win's a
囲まれ
win.
てるから
Space Station still haven't been able to find one through the 4 games that they've played. To dive out fast actually pays off. Goodbye to Geo.
しかもカバーがもう屋内に入ってるからできないこれ。
That was on the board.
ワンチャン逃げれる
Hope and pray
さ
that
す
he
が
can
に
get
無理
back
だ。
inside safely. Can't get it done. Brixer ensuring that it doesn't happen, and now
でも
as
これ
well,
もフォレストだよねやっぱり。
intel to be gained.
このぶち切りの尖った感がフォレストだ
That
ね。
Dokubi brings to the table, but
ちぎって
also
けち
access
ぎっ
to
て
the
け。
cams.
So smart.
そう SSG 延長に嫌われてるんだか愛されてるんだかよくわからない。
seconds early in the rounds when you heard the
運よく延長になってるのか延長になって負けてると見るべきなのか。お中に達夫さんこんばんは。実況お疲れ様です。ありがとうございます。
as good as dead, and he still gets another person with him into the
メ
grave.
ン
That's
バーまるっき
massive
り違
value for
う状
him.
態で
And now
複数優
Soniqs,
勝ってフ
they're
ァ
once
ビア
again
ン
in this
とカナ
position
ディアン
where
ぐらい。
they lose
ファ
that
ビアンっ
early
てコーチ
advantage.
だからって
They
こ
don't know
と。
exactly what to do, and they're
電気選手
hoping
だ
that
とカナ
Space
ディアン
Station
ぐらい
makes
じゃ
a
ない。
mistake, but they've been so
Por
good at
eso
fixing
WC
those
来ないんだ。
mid-game. Yeah, they've made mistakes here and there. They swing when they don't have to, but look at Space Station's outlines. They're not moving a muscle. They know that right now Soniqs are in a lock. They cannot get in. They're completely shut outside the bomb
厳しいね。
side. And
エントリールー
time
ト
is
抑え
all
られて
SSG
る。
needs right now. There's only 40 seconds of that to go in favor of
前言ったけ
Soniqs.
どこれ以上行くの厳しくない？バレた。
There's some gunfire on the Rex in both angles, and this is where things get tricky. Has to survey the opening onto the B bomb site, but also has to be very cautious of what's over towards Vault.
ちょっと組み立て厳しいね。エリアほぼ取れてないから。
Too many angles, I think, at this point. They'll get a leg up by that last logic bomb used by Grixer, and now flashes. In case anybody resides on blue, but nobody over there. Look at these HPs for Soniqs. This is not ideal. Space Station in an excellent position to just ride out this round and let SQ do most of the work
でも
for them.
2V1 まで行くんだそれ
Grixer
で。
in a 1v2, running out of time. It won't totally.
So maybe fights didn't be the defender, and Geo adds an additional layer with the pulse. Open the two so
俺イグニスは1マップ目取らないとダメだったなと思うよ。2マップ目は逆にもう勢いに乗られたからしょうがないなと思う。結構勝敗は1マップ目で分かれたと思う。ナイトウェーブと終了時間はここからじゃない？いやフォレストが覚醒してきたぞ。これぞフォレストムーブだよ。急にフォレストムーブを発動し始めた。今だって防弾カメラあったじゃん。
That was from the bulletproof camera will now also be gone as there's a nade tossed down. On cold creeping through the main lobby. A collision course with Gunner inside of the elevator, but Hot and Cold doesn't see this and manages to get away without an engagement. I'd say that's a win for Space Station, but they are looking for picks, and now it's Rexon's turn to
ついに
die.
行くのか SSG。
Space Station reading into this and being very quick.
お
They've
つ
got
いに
three
行くの
picks.
かオーバータイム
Gunner
勝
still
利。
inside the elevator, lighting up Hot and Cold. Finally, SQ is on the board.
まあそ
Gunner
こを
looking
取
for
るのはちょ
more,
っと
but
なさすがに
long-range gunfight and more important that
贅
he
沢
stays
だよな。
alive at this
い
point.
やでもシズンとガンダーが残ってればワンチャン。
Against the storm of
わあ
Space
ガンダーうまく
Station
入りました
4v2 with SSG still having a minute and a
ロビー捨
half
てて
to
んじゃ
pull
ない
this off.
The nerves and the pressure are not building up for
逆に先に
SSG.
置
They
かれてる
don't want
ぞ。
to throw away this round because they got that
そう
big
ロビー捨て
advantage.
て
Down
そう
to
そうそう
Soniqs.
そっち側に展開すれば
So many gadgets to be worried about.
バレテ
Look
ー
at
ラ
that,
パン
the
テーラ
capture
来
is
た。
there. It's Folds finding Gunner.
Diffuser going down. Citizen, the
さ
last
す
man
がに
standing. Hunted down by Folds.
ついにオーバータイムでポイント取った。
First victory.
ガチで首横が一枚つないだな SSG。
In pro play.
ちなみに フルーツの家は寒いらしい。もうストーブついてる。どっかのフランス人のせいで当倍強ってる人みんな、いや強いんです。あれは猛者の証だから。アッシュにとってはプロで初勝利だからな。クラブハウス、MAT とミラージュ。ミラージュはここで MAT 倒せればね、戦線に残れる気がするけど、負けたらジエンドかな。ほぼ。
It's been a while since we've seen a clubhouse.
Yeah.
いやミラージュ全然いいんだけどね。
Stage2, I believe.
I mean, I'd have to go through all the maps that we've casted, but to the top of my mind, yes, it is indeed the first.
たまに見るけど、久しぶりに見た。
There's Slothy in on Thatcher, and you can hear the nitro cell not too far off.
見たら壊されちゃ
う。There he goes.
そうそう。
Gomez destroying Slothy. At least one of those breaches got to go down, but that's all you got.
観戦画面だからニトロの音してたんだ。
Mirage had put all of their eggs into Thatcher's basket, and then M80 blew up the basket. So.
ハゲタコさん初めてちゃった。
I spoke about all those like steps to these rounds. Yeah, droning
そう
bottom
ね。
main stairs
SSG 確かに
is one of those
メ
very
ジャーに行
small
った時の
details
方
that
が
can very quickly
まだなんか完成
punish
度
you
高
if
か
you
った気
skip
がす
that
る。
step, and that's exactly what happened. Slothy, of course, had the MPs, but just didn't have the information that there was a C4 downstairs. You know, the floorboards, so he couldn't have.
いやミラージュもでもここで勝っとかないと、さっき SSG 勝っちゃったから
That's
さ。
gonna fail the attacks of Mirage.
多分だいぶしんどいで。あ、いいフラグ。あー、ドローン壊したが逃げ遅れた。いやでもいいドローンだよな、それは逆に。あのタイミングで投げてることはフラグで壊れること前提だもん。あ、ちょっと待ってくれ、反応遅れたぞ。大丈夫か。ニオジって呼ばれてるぞ。それだとニオジって呼ばれ続けるぞ。いやもうあとこのディアスの位置だけ一応分かってる。
Here's the case get opened up. M80's in position to stop him and cut him off before he can get towards church.
まあ普通は祭壇プラントだ
by
と思う。
blue that Diaz sees, and here's the gunfire from inside a church, but you have to
さすがにディアスでもきちい。
which angle do you want to go after
さすがにき
first?
つさ。
Just too many to cover.
Most injured thing. Your Mirage, where Gomez is playing on a side, the bolts as well as grenades and flashbangs, whereas the Aegis would not interact with the capital gadget at all.
Breach immediately opened the wall, getting directly into
ラ
CCTV.
ンピーラ
Now
ウンド取っ
gives
ても
Mirage.
むしろラウンド取った時の方が興奮してるぜ。と勝った時がマジでなんか切り散らかしてんじゃないかっていうぐらいなんか叫んで。いやでもさ、今のラウンド取ったのも見てもミラージュも仕上がってんだよね。
In the meta that he still has a role.
カルシーさんこんばん
Niche
は。
operators are fine in my opinion. Not every single operator needs to be viable on every single map at every single bomb site. Slothy needs to stay alive, and this is actually a difficulty for Slothy, especially if you've watched
久しぶ
most
り
of
に
the
見たな、
Mirage
カ
games.
ピ
You'll
タオ
know
のガレージ2
that
回
Slothy
戦
has some challenges making it past the first minute to a minute and a half. We saw it actually in the very first round. He was the first casualty.
今壊せなかったんじゃないキババリア。キババリア投げられたから手元狂ったんじゃない。うわ、いくおおノー。しかもキババリアでそっち側の180度カバー崩してるからね。えぐすぎ。
Two players down, turns his back over towards Secret, and now looking towards that garage door.
ゴメスの行き場所が
Gomez under drone, under watch. This is just desperation.
戻れるんかい。それ戻れた話変わる。
Slothy was one of the first to die, by the way, at the hands of Gomez. So will the smokes have any impact? The answer is no.
Oh man, I can't believe it. I mean, you got AD, you got Midas, you got the 4 keep it bearers, you got the crossfires. He took over immediately, no hesitation whatsoever. Gets the double kill and he escapes. And this is the thing, Diaz was also on the counter graph the entire time, and he's stuck around. So they still have counter control for now.
座れたけどダメージ入んじゃない。
catches the grenade, but I think Diaz is oh.
さすがにね。
Spiker taking out Diaz, numbers back into a 3v3.
残り30秒。
Gomez still alive.
ガレージ取れた。
Ace watch, as we can call it. No,
の位置は
in
見え
terms of
た。
like all 5 kills,
の
not
HP 考えるとワンチャンある
Caster,
の
not the
これ。
player, and
ただ
not the
ニトロセル
operator.
残ってるのはきちい。
In case anybody's confused by it. 15 seconds, and
こ
boy,
れ
oh
あと
boy,
ワンチャン
this
しか
is
ない。
the
これニ
case.
トロ落としてもらうしかない。
You'd think the Mirage would want to be
わあ
setting,
ガスグレネード
and
き
they will
つを。
smoke off CCTV. Hands it on a single point of HP. Planting through the floor, they've got some marks. And that's good enough to drop him. Nitro Cell goes, Spiker dropping down. Time ultimately.
ちゃんとブラックアイ現地に入れてたね。
After game
テックイシュ入ってます。
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's like that's
staircases, no one's cleaned Jones in garage, no one's like shown their face in master bedroom, and that just means the attacker's gonna take map control extremely quickly. I mean, they have full map control on the road that is in the first 30, 40 seconds, and I think the strength of bomb itself is very strong. Sure, but if you give the attackers all the tools and all the time and all 10 drones
今さ、体鍛えるときに炭水化物どれで取るかっていうと米で取るのよ。でプロもみんな米で取るのよ。改めてご飯の美味しさを痛感してる。
I think you gotta go up those staircases, kill a few drones, slow them down, make them a little bit hesitant to like progress on this map. So Mirage actually think they're in a great position here. You know, Hibana is open available. They got Thatcher's a counter possible Kaid. I think Mirage operator picks have done a great job at choosing exactly what they want to deal with any problem that might come into their way. But the thing is, maybe they're not really putting any problems in their face. Not until they hit the bomb site itself.
ちなみに俺重度のあれじゃないんだけど、小麦アレルギーで食べ過ぎるとお腹あたりが痒くなってね、かなりめちゃくちゃなんか肌荒れする。ストレス溜まってきたりとか忙しくなるとやっぱパンの方が食べやすいじゃん。だからついつい食べちゃう。焼きたてジャパン。あれ俺焼きたてジャパンマジで神だなと思ったのは、パンの話で連載版ができるっていうね、ちょっと頭おかしいだろうと思っちゃった。そんなことできるか。
Iconic spearheading this hold. 30 seconds remaining. Grenades from Mirage raining out towards blue. They were successful before. Not this time, though. Will they peek vertical? On the ground, he's got a good lineup. Just a couple inches above their head. Kane's gonna pick onto Iconic. That frees up Rampy to march into Church.
ランピーが深めに入れてる。
Diffuser getting planted by Spiker.
そっち側がきついのか。これランピーにかかってるけどきついよね。ポジがない。いや花丸ショットが強すぎ。筋トレしてたらパン食えなかった。そうだよね、そうなるよね。カップ麺の残り汁にご飯入れて書き込むの好き。俺あんま好きじゃないんだよね。炭水化物ばっかりでお腹いっぱいになっちゃう。
It's a great afternoon.
He's the kind of guy who looks in the mirror and gets lost in his own eyes.
Yeah.
あれパンの皮かぶったギャグ漫画だよ。まあそうだ。いやー今のはちょっとね、選択肢が狭かったわ。
And he can say things in our ears that we can't repeat on broadcast as he swears at us for making a fool out of him. But it's not. We're not. 1 minute into this round, and it's a Jim veteran take. First time this bomb site is showing up between these two teams. M80 opted to go to Church a second time after they lost it in round number 1. They looked much better the second time around. This is typically the bomb site where we see teams on defense lose out. You expect a successful Church hold. You expect a successful CCTV hold. Though honestly, CCTV cache starting to be picked less. That stage bomb site down on the main floor showing up more and more, especially in international competition. But we haven't witnessed a ton of Clubhouse, so maybe things are switching back to the way they were, just as when we saw in Bank earlier. Teams opting to make that Teller's Archives the tertiary bomb site instead of going upstairs to CEO. Who knows?
I know it's a basic thing to talk about, but Mirage doing such a great job at choosing the operators with care. They run the Thermite specifically for this German attack because they need those walls to be opened up for easy entry points. Not a vault, not a crouch wall, no. They gotta sprint into these walls and aggress when they need to. The issue is, right now that's the stronghold, but Vert gets a great on Diaz because he swings out.
Well, they trade. Nobody really gains anything from it. Lose a sledge. Lose a warden, now lose a Valkyrie.
これ情報取られてるぞ。今の突き上げの位置見ても。ああ、うまい。完全なこのぬるったいっていうのがマジでうめえな。
eviscerating him. It's just iconic left as well as Kino.
いやーでも昨日のやっぱり入り直しうめえな今のも。
Serious noise, navigating those Kiba barriers, which give him some protection.
強っ。
A little bit too overzealously.
おい、オジが頑張ってるぞオジが。
His position.
エリア取りないんだよこれ。
His play.
キーババリアが重い。
Now it's iconic.
オジが強いぞオジ
The
が。
wrong angle, puzzling. M80's usually better than the final 10 seconds of that round. Mirage answers back. Tie game.
いやでも NAEU ブラジルは絶対2チームいるからさ。もうなんかそんなことは言ってられないと思うよ。このレベルに勝たないともうベスト8はないからさ。どの道。
And last time that was Gomez just jumping over the ledge, just picking up 2 kills, and that should not happen again. Oh, Sloppy. Oh.
You said it shouldn't happen again, but guess who it is? And guess where they are?
そういえばドリップがまたブツブツ言ってる。あいつもう引退してんだから何も言うことねえだろ。 シージとは関係ない。
Down goes Slothy, and it's funny because the last time this is an exact mirror of what we saw before, exact replay, not a mirror.
相手にしないのが一番いいよ。もうシージとは関係ない人なんだから。別にプロでもないだし責任も伴わないし。
The great difficulty with Slothy on this Mirage team is that it seems like Slothy has so many needless early deaths that happens again. And it's a very utility heavy operator this time.
フラグで下に入ってるから突き上げたいのか。でも鑑識ここからに対してリアドに今当てたね一瞬。
Kino almost just one-tapped Spiker through the floor, but hit the shoulder instead, which takes a bit of damage. And you can see Mirage now kind of running around the map being like, what do we do? We're supposed to go Garage. We can't quite do it now, but we can't go elsewhere, so maybe we try anyway? I mean, they have 3 flashbangs and 2 grenades, and they got EMPs they can try and, you know, work with as well, but they gotta hit some nasty shots here to clear out Gomez cleanly. Otherwise, oh, that's something.
さすがにね、2度目はなかった。
Fight right to him and flush him out of his position upstairs on rafters. Suddenly, Garage is in control of Mirage. Have they droned it out? That's the real question. You can hear the sound of a drone nearby, but Rampy seems to suspect that there's still somebody playing on that catwalk position.
結構きつめやつ。
No flank through oil just yet.
いやこれガレージ取られちゃったからね。
Very slow pace.
残り50秒でガレージ取られたんだったら選択肢めちゃくちゃある。階段上がりをアイコニックを押さえにとか。いやでももうランピ上がってっから。これ成立してっからねこれで。
EMP goes out in case there's a nitro cell underneath. Information was had by M80 last time. This exact encounter went through.
スパイクがそれ詰めるっていう話なんです。
Spiker finds a second kill. Mirage continuing to go on the board. Spoit running outside, putting his position away. They can do basic arithmetic. They know the numbers on the ball side now. It's up to Kansas to get that diffuser down and is doing so quite successfully. Another kill from Spiker. Diffuser does not M80. Right now in the driver's seat.
いやこれ情報取れてるな。
Continues to run away. Spiker looking for a fourth kill. He's gonna get it.
これはプラント守れるか。
But Spoit won't give it to him
Ah!
just yet. No, he
ゲーム画面どっちおい
We don't know who won.
どうな
I
っ
think
た
M80
のよ
won.
Okay, you got it.
There we go.
語れが
Chaos.
Very cool.
PZ 何の逆か略か分かんない
Absolute chaos. I mean, again, it seems that M80, they are like allergic to take these sides. They give them the entire bomb site, and again, there's a good reason for it. They want to give Mirage the bomb site. They have 2 C4s, 3 Toxic Babes. They have the Valkyrie camera for intel. But this time, Mirage, they actually clear out the camera. They push on deep, and then you saw there was a bit of panic there from M80. They could not find the guy planting. So,
話題に上げづらい人なんて他のタイトルで無限にいるから
Look like one of the best teams in the world, and certainly their position in the standings shows that they're one of the best teams in NAL right now.
いや今の取れなかったの痛いねちょっとバルキリーに対するケアが薄すぎんじゃない枚数足りないの分かる
They're doing good.
鑑識校ってああいう守り方しか今できない
Doing well. I think Mirage just they've been so quick to incorporate everybody into their respective roles where you can look at this roster and be like, who should play what role exactly? Because you know we've seen Vert on their roster. He's been playing Flex, been playing Vert, he's been playing Entry and second Entry and Rampy, same story for him. But I think they have a good read on things, and I think they are trying to utilize every single player to the max potential and doing so quite successfully. Doing the roam clear, or not the roam clear, rather, the utility clear, rather. Flashbangs, nits go out, but again, when you have Jaeger and Lomai standing in the same area, it's very hard to clear out all the utility required to do so. They do have 3 EMPs in Sloppy's pockets, so I feel like they could have done a bit better there to save the flashbangs and save those grenades, enable them to do some damage, because now they're in a dire position. But they're also dealing with the Kaid. Iconic was triggering the hatches, making life difficult for Mirage. But they got the hatches opened up. They got the ADSs cleared out as well. Got a minute and 10 to work with, and now their eyes are now going towards the dirt tunnel of things. Seems like Mirage want to apply as much pressure as possible from every single direction and keep a guessing as to what the push will actually look like in the final moments of this round. Dirt tunnel caught by Kino and Jaeger shotgun. That's gonna be hard to clear. And the rest of the bomb site is covered by the rest of the M80 cast and a single C4 on Iconic, so not enough plant to go down if Mirage attempts to plant the diffuser.
いいところドローン入りました。
These rounds are just flying by.
これでいる位置はだいぶ武器庫側は特定できる。
But a nice shot by Diaz through the hatch.
特定じゃないな、限定できる。
Every now and then somebody goes for it. Doesn't work. Trepidation from Mirage. Everybody's still alive with 20 seconds left on the clock.
いやこれでもハッチだいぶ勝負できないだろう、展開型してるだろう。
Especially messy. Gomez the first pick.
これ終わったかもしれんぞ。
By Kansan. Damage being done now as Mirage jump into the bomb site. Boarding party, but M80 stopping every step of the way. A single kill for Sloppy.
これさ、祭壇割るところピークされたんじゃないかな、多分。
M80 from getting a flawless round. We get it, you know.
誰?
Doing anything, Soul is to hear what those defenders are playing from.
There's first blood. Drawn by M80. They've been better than Mirage by quite great lengths in drawing that first blood in this matchup. I think we've spoken enough about just how important that first pick is. Sloppy dies early again. There's a recurring theme with Mirage.
まあそうね。
If you're gonna put him on these roles, maybe do it on operators that are not desperately needed. Zombie dying that early means that there will be a long period of time with no Kiba barriers. Down goes vertical as well. He decides to swing on to Gomez. Maybe an attempt to try to keep numbers close. Diaz and Gomez both reduced to about 30 HP. Spiker blows an opportunity to keep numbers close himself, and instead now scoots his way back down to the bomb site. Half of the round is burned through. Even though they're not in equal footing, Mirage still holding onto the stairs, still holding aggressively as M80 wades their way through the first floor. Castle barricades laid about. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds for you to be able to melee it and get closer to where you want to go.
Time spinter on that one. Might cost you in the end. I like the Mirage. They're fighting every inch of this map, and I think these are peaks of desperation because they basically have to swing. Right? They don't have a lot of foothold to work with here. No rotates on side, etc. They do find that peak eventually onto Sport. Iana off the table. That means that Gemini clone can't scout for intel any longer. But maybe they have most things set up. They got that kitchen hatch, a bit of vertical destruction, and they got the capsule fire and smoke to enable this push, and they've got dirt tunnel control. The call goes out, the capsule fires as well, and then surely they go for execute.
Wasn't looking for a kill, but he gets one either way. Now flashes.
ウォーゾーンの世界大会あるんだ。それ面白そう。ちょっと見てみたい。
Capkin traps are there for good measure. Fuser in the hands of Kino as now Kansan has to cross the hallway, but might as well be filled with piranhas.
強い。キノが強いね。
Dangerous for him to go as he wants.
いやこれでもうだって上から見ればいいだけ。
Diaz and Rampy with diffuser down. Diaz has control from above.
さあ兄貴分ランピー頑張れるか。
Running out of ammo and will now need to take the fight on the same floor. All the while Diaz looking to play keep away.
どのに情報見えてるの？
Still running.
おいち分かった。
Rampy running out knows exactly where he is. Even if he got the kill, I'm not sure if he would have gotten back inside with time left.
ちゃんと伏せてた。
M80 wins another round. They're up 5-2. Mirage still have their timeout.
でもランピーとかさ、給料払ってないと切れそうじゃない？
Well, it really seems to be working out for Mirage.
アジアから日本のチームも参加してるんで、見たいね、それ。ウォーゾーン見てみたい。22時45分から開始。
Vertical was looking for an engagement by the main
それ
door
ツイッチで見れる。
early on, and it gets
ウォ
droned
ーゾーン
out
で
by
出てくる。
M80. They spot
ウ
him.
ォーゾーン
and
好
he
き
peels
なんだけど
off.
さ、
I think
全
that's
然
a
マジで上手
smart
くないね。
idea.
てか、なんかゲームの仕組みが金集めろっていう仕組みがいまいちよく分か
On
ってない。
stairs as now he heads back down. He's got two other players with him.
ランピは訴訟を起
Falling
こすん
off
じゃない
that
か
top floor, and now they'll look to give up some of that map control. He held it for a moment. 1 minute of roaming. It's actually not terrible, especially when you don't give up any of your players. Laxing talked about this actually on the desk.
ツイッチと
about
YouTube
how
両方ある。あり
a
がと
lot
う。
of people think that when you roam, you play for kills. It's not always the case. Sometimes you roam to kill drones, kill time, kill utility. If you can bring a player or two down with you, then that's
クリ
excellent.
ム
But
ソ
a
ン
lot of
コ
times
ーネイルさんね。
you play
フォローありがとうござ
knowing
い
you're
ます。
going to die. It's about how much time and how much gadgets, how many gadgets rather, you can destroy before you go down.
Yeah. You're always playing at a fine line between, okay, do I stay now and maybe risk dying, or do I fall back, but is it a little bit too early? And this time, Mirage, I think they played that line to perfection. They burned about half the drones and a bit of utility and
いや
about
この廊下
majority
ラム
of
で
the
壊すのは
time
気
on
持ちい
this
いのに
round. I mean,
な。
that's 2 minutes of the clock. They just entered kitchen. A minute is still fine because Bach and Gomez, they're doing great work now, just destroying the floor. BS is there with the X-Cows and Ibana, immediately open up that hatch. So they're
すごいなんかゴメスのさ突き下げって雑じゃない？
Got 50 seconds.
もう最低限見れればいいってこと
Start
だ
getting those
ね。
drones down, figure out what those bombs might look like, see if you can take third control again like I kind of did in that last round. But as I mentioned, you can change one small thing. Maybe instead of a third push, one guy pushes blue, goes into moto. Those small things can make a huge change in these rounds.
ラムとバック使い分けるのはどうする基準ですか？その後何をするかだね。ゴメスいいとこまで詰めてる。あー一瞬切り替えちゃったね。いやでもプラントちゃんと通すもんな。エメイってやっぱ強えな。いろんなバリエーション持ってる。だってここ一人でプラント行ってもさ、詰め組のゴメスがやられたとしても上2人残ってんだぞ。多分祭壇から詰めた組が1人上がったんだろうなこれな。
Very quick work of this matchup. They find
ディアスプ
themselves
ラン
on
トでし
match
ょ
point.
そうだよね。
Side.
強いね、メイテ
2-0
ィ。
right now.
これは
That's not
強
the
いわ。
start that you want, but I mean at this point in time in the match, I think that's pretty much all Mirage has going for them. They're being outstratted and outgunned. So why not go for these cheeky strats and hope for the best?
I mean, that was such a good read from Inmate. I mean, I don't think Sport was running around and flicked him. They looked very ready for that because he died immediately. And if Spiker gets the kill into Blitz and then survives, that would be a massive play from Spike. But instead, he looks like a fool now. Mirage goes into a 4 versus 5 against the Blitz, no less. That just means that once the bomb site walls gets open up, the windows, that pressure from the bomb site, Kino can say, guys, I want to push office, drop with me, make a play. Because the Blitz allows you what, like that thing that is so difficult to actually get in that first door, to get the foot inside the bomb site. Blitz can always guarantee that.
今日日付変わったブラジルに1時間な。
push. Advantage trick though doesn't hit the right wall.
うわ
And there's another
さすがに。
This time, the Nitro Cell by Rampy tossed out.
いや手も足も出ないね。いやミラージュそんなに悪くないんだけどね。
M80 looking so formidable. Wanting to put this one away and honestly not giving Mirage a single opportunity to breathe in this match.
破壊力がえぐい。
Lost the main breach now from Jacuzzi. You've also lost the wall. What on earth just happened there?
後ろから撃たれたように見えたのはチームキルか。びっくりした。どっから飛び出したんだそれと思った。
M80 though with 1 minute to go. A little bit farther back from the bomb site. Lays vertical inside of construction. Now Kansan will watch that breach as there's a drop from Gomez. Good enough to take him
弾
down.
幕張られた。
A very experienced player. Vertical dig deep. Stop Kinez or stop Gomez and Kino. If we want to just merge them together. Doing some serious work here. Ooh. Vertical just getting away with his life intact, but guess what's coming at you? It's the Blitz. Flash is going out. Kino attempting to get the diffuser down, but you know what? Why don't you just play with your foot a little bit more? That seems to be the game plan from M80. They're gonna feed it vertical. Kino will need to clutch out.
あーブリッツ最後に来た。
M80 picking up all 3 points. 7-2 the scoreline.
お領事館じゃないこれ。多分領事館だよなこれ。 違いますか？そうでした。お届けするのはオキシゲントソニックス。いいですね。いいですね。楽しみこれ。
Oh, not directly, but Gunner spotted one! Not all the way down below, but as Newers peeks his head on the rafters, the buck goes down within the first 30.
You knew it was over when Gunner had his hat backwards. No chance in hell Newers makes it through that.
コーチはだいぶ批判されてるよ。ハブザーズでしょ。俺だいぶ前から言ってるもん。多分長年見てくれてる人だったら分かる。コンセプトがないのよ、マジで。それはコーチにとって俺は致命的だと思う。コンセプトがチームの方向性を固められない。別にベタなチームでシージでも何でもいいんだけどさ。ロスのカメラも正直やめたけど、まあでも1試合しかまだ見てないからな。まあ簡単には言えないけど、初戦は何やってんだって感じだった。もうなんかそのカメラマンがいい悪いの前に練習したんかお前らって感じのレベルだった。申し訳ない。そのレベル。
This is your first time watching it. This map used to be notorious for attackers being able to sit outside on rappel or outside windows and cutting off large swaths of the map. Not really the case here. That back at the only ones on this map that you can hold from the outside.
何年前にやめたのよ、セクシーは。
But even then, it's not much.
その説無理がありすぎだろ。都市伝説並みの説だぞ。
To rotate without really too much worry on this map that they might be cut off or shot.
Absolutely. It feels
サイレンス引退しちゃったんだっけ？なんかフォートナイトの部門になんか行ってその引退したんだよね。
just being the map control in and of itself. And honestly, it's a really nice change. I've really been enjoying it, and it's made for a lot of very hotly contested rounds in the the games that I have played. So it looks like we're going to be trying to stick to that. This
いやもう地図の視点移動えぐいね。いろんなとこ見てるね。
Still showing a little bit of a similar face here, Lynx, as we are into a 3 versus 3.
結構ハイ選手なのかな。
This is about as usual.
いやこれは上の置きドローンが優秀だったな。
At least in my experience so far on these new consoles, a lot of window play, trying to lock down these stairwells and trying to pressure this roam game as much as possible. Working out very well for Oxygen right now.
I think that Nomad will likely be a sticking point for some of these attacking teams. Just cutting off room by room with air jabs or claymores as a secondary gadget, moving beyond the Nomad. That's what OXG just did. That's how they pushed citizens back and ended up taking out Gunner. But it's just denying them room in which they could walk. Dream hopping down behind the piano with some smoke grenades and candelas. There's a C4 ready and waiting. It flies over. Dream's able to dodge it. Move back to that same position, but tagged up heavily by Citizen. No secondary utility though for Sonics to deny this. OXG have plenty of angles too to cut off these rotations inside of the bomb site. Once he steps to Dream, he falls very soon after. Geo basically shut down inside of Expo. Does he have an angle? Does he have a shot? Perhaps. But in a 1v3, OXG finally make it to the end of that clear. They will pick up one. Now there's the player up above to deal with and one player down below as well. Secondary utility too. But no more flashes or smokes to blind him. Trying to stick that defuse, beta peek from Foxy or Yogg. The latter has rotated all the way around to catch Geo in the back. But he misses those shots. Geo trying to defuse again, but OXG, they're not playing for the kill, not playing for a gunfight, just playing for time. But Geo grants them their wish. They end the round with 9 seconds to spare.
Fantastic round from Oxygen, and I think a great right.
総当たりにしようよな。総当たりやっぱり1ヶ月半ぐらいじっくりやるぜ。There's
one reinforcement panel, and if you get this, it gets you immediate access downstairs into the back of server. There's like a whole electrical hallway that leads into this. And then the other thing that they did, Lynx, is they took that stairwell that used to be attached to admin and would go downstairs to the kitchen door. They actually pushed that through the wall and flipped it around and made it to where it leads down to server now from inside of Tellers. So you don't have immediate access to it anymore from this outside hallway. You actually have to get into the bomb site or go through the single panel on the side to get access to it. So there's a lot more changes. There's a lot more just camaraderie around this site. And honestly, I'm really excited to see how Soniqs do this, because if you remember, Lynx, you said you've been a fan of this game for some time. This was one of Soniqs' bread and butter sites when console was in the map pool. Big Brain Super was on this one for sure.
I mean, any site where it just revolves around basically treating half of the bomb site like a retake strategy while hard holding the other one and hoping to use those C4s down below. Any good IGL worth their salt will have a good time trying to plan a defense on this one. But no super here. The Soniqs are certainly here to play, though. Might be down one round, but about half the round gone, and OXG have only entered the top floor. Start opening up some vertical to look down into Tellers, and as you can see, strategy is decently similar to the old way of holding Tellers and Archives. most of the players from Soniqs down below, and if they are on that middle floor, they are not in the bomb site itself. They are all the way back in Piano and Expo with mirror windows cutting off long angles, and the players down below holding C4s alongside Rexen on that pulse to get intel and give any explosive comeuppance to attack. Gunner, we know the role he's going to be playing through the duration of this game. Second round in a row, he's been lurking upstairs. Second round in a row, it's yielded an opening pick.
Well, he's playing Executioner there. Now he's going to play time delay. I just sneak his way through this top floor, and if he can get any more kills, that's fantastic. But honestly, he just needs to be a thorn in their side. Try and delay this clock, try and keep Newers distracted. It's all working masterfully for them right now. This will take down Fox A as well. Oxygen dead in the water. Yes, they have some semblance of map control, but no control over this frag game. Every single angle going the way of the Soniqs, and they've got the entirety of Oxygen at the gates. They're simply putting salt in the wound now. 1 versus 5 for Newers as he's trying to find the only kill he could potentially muster right now. He hasn't been able to find too much just yet inside of this game. Does have the case still over inside of the main lobby area, so he's just going to drop downstairs. I don't think he's going to be existing too much longer. Pop some shots, won't be able to get out at least one, but the Vector almost catching him. It'll be Rexen that actually finishes up the job. So not a flaw. Just turned over the garage to see.
いや、ハグザードコーチに向いてないんだよ。だって思想出せない時点で俺ダメだと思うよ。あのメンバー揃っててさ、あんななんか人任せな作戦しか組めないって、コーチとしてビジョンがないんだと思うから、なんでなんか重宝されてるのかマジでわかんない。
40 seconds have
診療時間のミラポチやってないっけ？もう何やって何やってないかわかんないんだよ。でもなぜ診療時間が選ばれないかというと、マップが選ばれないからです。残念ながら。
over towards yellow stairs where Yaga will try and grasp a hold.
Does know about some Valcam intel around the yellow stairs, but his focus is pretty much on this middle floor right now. He said trying to grab some of these Soniqs defenders stationed around the middle floor. Ooh, another Valcam. Setting info about Yaga's position to defenders on the middle and the top floor. It's the ladder that does him in. Third opening kill in a row now for Soniqs. Only 1-1 on the conversion though, but it seems like round 3 might be going the same way as round 2. 5v3 now, Fox A Yaga, the first 2 to fall, just like the round prior. And again, OXG struggling with very little control. Second floor bomb site, still see some repel action, Sam, but Oxygen needs something more solid if they want a chance at the 3v5.
It's been fantastic patience from the Soniqs. Even the 2 death blows that they dealt to Oxygen, it was with great cadence, right? It wasn't something that was surprising. You know, Oxygen, I don't even really think got caught off guard by it either. It really what it feels like, though, just from Oxygen's perspective, is we're kind of getting shown how difficult it is to entry onto Consulate now with the way that these window plays work. You kind of have to try and find that foothold, and if you can't do it, then more than likely in pretty hot water, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Gonna have a hop out from down low on Citizen, but it's Newers inside of a 1 versus 4. He's probably just going to ascend to the sky, and they'll try and reassess things for their offenses later on. So that's gonna be round 3 going.
これは守りに入りましたね。まあ。
assist each other.
まあ詰めようとした時やっぱ上からの車線とかでまだまだプロも落とされるね。あそこ空いてたのかみたいなのがヨガのキルシーンとかマジだった。
OXG hoping maybe they can pick up some fresh ideas in this round.
I got so my old Consulate just made me have a heart attack right there. Elfish is dead. Why is he jumping in the skyline? He's gonna instantly die.
Well, I mean, again, talking about fresh stuff, that's something you can do now. You can actually live if you hop down the yellow skylight. Refreshing change of pace for anybody looking for a quick entry into the map, because it's difficult to contest that yellow skylight once you've droned out or maybe pushed an aggressive defender back. You can just hop down the skylight, land pretty safely on that second floor. But there are plenty of Soniqs defenders stationed upstairs inside a Consulate. And Yaga, man, third round in a row now, not dead, but the first one to take borderline lethal damage on Oxygen goes for the finisher. Rexen gets away with highway robbery. That's 3 opening deaths in a row now for Yaga, and 3 in a row more broadly for OXG.
That's some mechanics right there. So Quickling gets him out of the situation with the frag too. So no air jabs on this top floor. But we saw this last time. Oxygen was in the exact same
LOL で
position.
草みたいな感じだから自分の飛び出しでロックされたのに草って感じだ
The
ね。
only difference is the time links. A minute and 10 seconds remaining for Oxygen. They still have to try and handle what Soniqs are building up on this top floor. Yes, they do have control of the area in which they're trying to oversee, but they still have to worry about the potential of the drone working its way back in and trying to shut down this execution as it's going off.
マークが一番汚ねえよ
for
な。
that shutdown angle. Try and retake the vertical control away from OXG. That was able to seal out that first round in large part. Able to keep an attacker away from SQ's defense.
まあでもなんか仲いい部分も正直あったりするからどこまでが本当でわからないかまあなんかプロレス気分で俺は見てるけどおったけどだなこれ上を抑えられてるもんな
Now Fish the only one left, the only man who didn't find himself at some point at the bomb site, and Citizen's got his exact rotation cut off. A good nade to try and force him back, but Soniqs, excellent work on the overall retake and isolating that final attacker, and eventually, well, actually, that's technically not true. I forgot Foxay was still stuck inside of Art. He, being the final attacker, finished off by SQ, and the defense
into that.
moving inside of admin.
G2 がいっちゃひどい確かに G2 ひどいよな悪ノリを始めた時の G2 手のつけようがないよなあれもあった時がマジでひでえんだよバーチュースンとしてるけどマジで汚ねえんだよ
This kind of back electrical single wall early on and then moved upstairs to begin their clear of the top floor. It seems that they'll be retreading that ground at least for the first minute.
Bomb located.
No dream.
Maybe not.
Able to work his way through.
パソコンカメラ俺も覚えとこう
Although
分かりづらいねあれ
had somebody on that cam, couldn't exactly tell. We'll definitely know that somebody is here due to the lack of the camera being there in the first place. If they didn't know then, well, they definitely know
ロリ
now.
ムさん
Don't
は
they?
ここにバックでハードブリッジのチャージ持
to
って
get
させて
slammed
リエって
down
何な
on
の
green. Gonna try and clear out the back end.
相手がいたから分かったの
Server here with viewers, at least
別に
electronic
突き下げ
wise.
するわけでも
Exactly
平
know what's
面で
going
も
on
入ってくるね
personnel wise when it comes to
あの非
Soniqs
常口
numbers.
のソフトブリッジしたか
We'll
った
have
だ
that
けな
angle to
の
worry about down low though, but it's really what Auction wants to try and build upon with this. Looks like a couple drop in the back end. Maybe potentially a basement plant as Foxy has found himself inside a blue hallway.
Oh, he's made his way in, but not found a kill on Grixer. Gunner, the first to fall, though. OXG's first opening kill this matchup, and it comes with a man advantage now. Wide and even, thanks to Newers finding Rexen. Grixer, of course, alone on the site. 1 HP now dead. Gio's got to rotate back with much of the work by OXG already
だってさ
done.
非常口
Signed,
さ
sealed, and
この
delivered.
ビザハッチしか取って
Almost
な
a
いんだよ
nice
ビザハッ
spray,
チ
but
しか
Fish
取っ
is
てない
able
ん
to
だよ
clean that one up pretty quickly. OXG, a very nice read. The vacant bottom floor bomb site, and they move in and end the round pretty soon after.
I mean, pretty vacant. They did have an act about that. Anything they could do out unless they're really capable of like controlling that outside hallway we saw Fox drop into.
Soniqs, unfortunately, for life,
Nice,
maybe if they were able to
Wildcard,
repeat their previous victories, might have had a 5-1 half in hand.
あのカメラ、あ、そうか、そうか。
4-2 is what they are gunning for, and OXG looking to keep it even into the side swap, make that a 3-3. And we do have our first play of the basement bomb site to end this half. Very good to see already. No. Had to fact check myself.
でもやっぱ使わないとどんどん忘れていくよな。
See, I'm still used. I literally had old cons like creep in my brain like, oh, we didn't see lobby.
いや俺で結構プロレスだと思ってるよだってオフラインの時のさドリームの煽りとかもそうだよ
You don't like all 5 attackers sitting outside a front door with 8,000 smokes and 3 frag grenades?
俺はプロレスだと思ってる
It's like the
And a
worst
Monty for some
もちろん
snowball
本当に
fight
仲
that
が
I've ever
悪い
seen
や
in
つ
my
もいる
life.
と思うけど
Like,
さ
It was not. Listen, even when I was a fan, I was like, can we just fast forward this one?
G2 はひどい
anytime we launched consulate and I knew
G2 はひどい
that John and I were going to be casting like 3 rounds
な
of
んかね
lobby
NA のチー
defense,
ムはなんか
I
お
had to
互いにま
mentally
だ仲い
prepare
いのかなって雰
myself.
囲気あるんだけど
Especially
G2 は単
after
純
it
に
was
マジ
like
で
put
煽
the
ってるだ
liquor
け
in
だ
the freezer, you know, like. Oh man, that's probably what Grixer's thinking after that pick too. He was trying to get out ahead of Auction here, trying to make sure that they can't quickly dispatch Soniqs. But my God, man,
Okay.
They have their foot on their neck, putting them right in the dirt. Soniqs, it's up to Citizen and Rexen, 2 of the most high-flying players on this entire team. But how
さすがの
high-flying
ダブル
can
ピ
you
ーク
be? The trapeze
いや
is
でもやっ
falling
ぱ最
apart.
近マジで
Down
ダ
to
ブルピー
Rexen
ク
to
とか
try and
見る
get
シ
the
ーンほん
pieces
と増え
of
たよ
said
ね
trapeze. Maybe
絶
still got
対
a
1
second
枚
act for us, but
だって確定し
it's
たと
gonna
こ
be
ろに対
difficult
し
to try and
て
assemble.
1v1 で当たりにい
I
かない
don't
もんね。
Listen, Rexen,
素晴らしい
great
ね。
player, great guy. Don't think he's winning this one, unfortunately. OXG, now with the bomb down, have
これはさす
set
が
a
にや
timer
な。
on Rex's or continued existence in round 6. Could very well
G2
find
とい
one
う
kill
かあれ
on
も
top
というかそれに乗せられた
floor.
時そうだね。
Indeed, caught lacking. So Yaga
確か
not
に
having, unfortunately,
他のみ
he's
んな
not been
静かにしてる。
having the best game, but
ウー
honestly,
のあ
he's
たりまで
gotten
乗っ
really
てきそうだ
unlucky in
な。
some
まあでもウーのそこま
situations.
でし
Not
ねえ
even
か。
his fault entirely. Might find another. Oh, little jiggle piece.
おー、ショット。
There we go. Down goes Fish. This is the point where now we have to give a little bit of respect to Rexen. All right, you've only got less than 10 seconds, but you got 2 kills out of 4. Maybe there's a snowball's chance in hell. You could pull this
なんか
one
今
out.
FPS バグ出てるやつで抜けてたね。
The answer was no.
さすがにやな。33か、まあ攻撃マップと今のところ思われている診療時間に対して、まあまあまずまずじゃないですか。スティック入りますか。この辺ですか。ちょっと読み込みが遅くなってきたな。頑張ってほしい。
Early on in the round, we'll see if that either yields anything for the attack specifically, or if it just denies.
まず確かにヒゲない方がいいかもね。
Too early to tell, but definitely a good
男前に見え
find
る
to
しな。
start. Soniqs already showing a little bit of a difference from the OXG clear, at least right now, being stationed outside of the projector balcony. Already opening up a hole in the wall and contemplating throwing some candelas through. He pulls out the hard reach, pulls out the candela, pulls out every gadget he has before deciding to throw that candela. There's not much follow-up. Maybe trying to force a rotation inside of that room, but hasn't found anything just yet. Gunner is right outside, cooking a nade. Oh, but just barely hit on a timing. Thankfully, Foxay doesn't fire any shots. He's repeatedly blinded by Geo outside on that balcony, but we've yet to see a follow-up from the Soniqs. They're trying to best define this control and finally find a pick as Gunner suffers his 4th opening death of the match. And Gunner might just find his 2nd kill, but it's not on the list.
Fox will get the first one. Right back in behind
来るとは思わなかったな。
these steel barriers here. Trying to keep himself
ああ、いい奥の車線。
What a cover from Newers.
カバーが敷かれてる。いやでもお互いにレベル高えな、削り合い。人の配置とカバーが取れるイメージの共有がマジで近い。
Newers trying to keep up at bat. There's anybody trying to work their way up yellow.
ドリームさんは引けないと物足りないよね。
For Auction, Dream is still alive, so they can still keep a bead on some of these offenders. But it's going to be Auction to actually take down that exact member. Dream gone, no more pulse. Only the 2 versus 3.
ブリクサーは安定してんな。
Geo got that 2 players to cover the diffuser, but Foxay and Newers have started retaking the top floor, but have found no one home upstairs. It's all completely empty. Broadly speaking, maybe a drone, maybe a bit of utility. OXG do have those vertical angles, but I think they were hoping to find a gunfight on that top floor. Nobody bites, but somebody is home down below. That was the man with the diffuser. Now Geo fallen 2v2, but this is still favoring the Soniqs. Plenty of time to reposition. Their position's actually already found. The repositioning's done, but the angles, there's still plenty to be found for Foxay. Maybe one more kill now that Newers has fallen. Make this an effective 1v3. Info on Rexen's position. The Ash gotta back up, gotta fall back, and simply not enough time to reward Foxay's huge individual effort in round 7. That'll be a clean-up. He defused it! You gotta be kidding me! I thought that was a wrap-up! I'm just as confused as you, Fox. Like, I'm checking the time. You gotta be kidding me,
時間
man.
見ろよ。いいですね。
Does not have that one, unfortunately.
Wait, let him cook.
これでもここがうまかったよな。まあここはちょっと難しいと思うけど、だからレクゼンがなんか入り込んだ位置が悪かったと思う。
Thanks to
あんま駆け引きできる位置じゃなかった。
Say,
誰がやらかしたかっていうと、あれだね。
pretty damn good with that cardiac sensor, just like him.
まあレクゼンもそのうちの一人だな。2v2 になった時にお互いディフューザー見てカバーできる位置じゃなかったっていう。広がりすぎてた。なんかプランとして有利になって相手が動かないといけない状況に対してロックじゃなくて、ある程度体乗り出してウリッチに行ってたから、多分そこだと思う。最後のシーンはまあしょうがないと思う。だからポジションが悪い。多分そのあたりが新マップなんだと思うよ。やっぱり自然とここなのかなってふわっと入ったら全然見れねえやディフューザーみたいになってると思う。
And on top of that, they do also have Yana, which is, to this day, one of the best info ops in the game. Not only
これは
because
スー
of
パ
her
ーに
fragging
押し置きされ
abilities,
ま
but
すね。
because
さらされんじゃない
her drone is an
何が悪かった
infinite,
か。
or rather,
2P ノーズ倍の時間をかけて
drone,
やられるんじゃないか。
if used properly. So, be sick at the end of the day for them. They're going to continue clearing out this building. Auction really haven't shown any teeth, but they've been more like a ghost. You know they're there, but they're just not showing face.
うわすごいとこ
A
持っ
lot
て
of
るね。
utility setup.
結構限界ポジじゃないですか。
No defender aggressively taking
そう
fights.
カウンターの机だけだろ遮蔽物。一生牙張りあったけどさ。
No one from auction, excuse me, sitting close on that door frame. Nobody biting.
やっぱ上下守り結構やるね。両チームとも。
But Kiva Barrier is blocking his way now.
どこがきついんだ。1階がきついのか。
There we go. Might have just found something. Fish fall in. Ooh, another one spotted by Grixer. Foxay trying to get aggressive on that hatch, and that's the pulse too. No more intel for those C4s. Dream though, he's playing with the shotgun close.
やりきれんかった。
The SMG-11.
今やれ
And
て
it's
た
still
世
held
界
by
勝
the
ってたな。
Soniqs. Dream retaking up the Visa hallway. There's one attacker inside. Grixer now fallen on the floor. SQ might be running for trouble at this point. Finished off, and Auction have fully retaken the middle floor.
ただ
SQ get in
下
a
取ら
position
れて
down
るか
below
ら
to put this
な。
bomb down. Dream will use that C4. Won't find anything, but it will create a vertical angle. But nothing to see you. Any of those SQ attackers. There we go with the shotgun. A makeover on the middle floor. He's able to get a quad kill and put the diffuser down on the floor. And Citizen likely not winning this one at this point. Dream is in a good position to drop. Newers to hold up above. There we go! Ace from Dream.
ドリームさんエースなの？ドリームさんそんなキル取ってたっけ？
Support doing everything he can to give OXG their second.
怪しげなドリンクを飲むドリームさん。
Dream claps in the background. I hope you
怪
did.
しいドリンク飲ん
Shout
で
out
る
to
な。
the old Mirage Dream clip.
Indeed. A timeout immediately procced from the Soniqs and making a head and smile.
インジャードリームだったよね。そこ覚えてたんだけどさ。あれでもソニックスがタイムアウト取ってる。
Very telling.
あれ俺その前さなんかヌアーズのカメラシーンがずっと映ってたからさヌアーズがキル取ってたと思うんだけどずっとドリームさんが撮ってたんだね。そこを勘違いしてました。申し訳ありません。
Potential push here. They'll be trying to attack the top floor. This is something we saw Soniqs trying to deal with on their previous offensive set and didn't exactly have the easiest of times as Soniqs were able to take it to them decently early on in the round and make it to where their clear wasn't exactly the greatest. We eventually saw them trying to blow their way in towards the single panel for CEO. But even that did not bear any fruit as the Amaru swung through, immediately died with case.
今日 RGL も入れてこれ7マッ
Soniqs
プ
are
目
not
か
even
な。
going to have that part of the strategy inside of their operator lineup, so we don't have to worry about them flying in through anything and losing the case immediately off the back of
明日のリハーサル
that.
って何？
As for now, they're most definitely
なんかイ
going
ベン
to
トとか
need
じゃ
to
ない限
take
りリ
this
ハーサルとかやん
round.
ない。
Oxygen right on the doorstep. The penultimate point.
しいたけ VS 選
Make
択
it
機
to where
確かに。
Soniqs are not capable of making a
あらららら
mistake.
フォックスがちょっとさっき
And
の
well,
クラッ
for
チから乗
Gunner,
ってきたんじ
he's
ゃないこ
actually
れ。
going to take those words right out of my mouth, as that is going to be
さ
the
っきの
biggest
マジで
mistake
だい
in
ぶ
that
からの
lineup
エ
you
マ合わ
could
せエグかった
potentially
もんな。
make, as they're going to lose line.
あ、わかる。今のリージョンの置き方俺も最近やってんだよね。今まで通路の真ん中に置いてたんだけどさ、あその角に置くことによってだいぶ壊されないんだよ
for
な。
the deciders, which is you just need to be top 6. So that doesn't mean they'll get third, doesn't mean they'll get fourth, but it does mean that they cannot drop below 6th. If they just get one more point, and in this case, one more round, Foxay has started that off beautifully with a kill onto Gunner. Now it's on SQ, as you said, to try and play perfectly up until this point to fight back in regulation, to secure their own position, but deny OXG theirs. Gunner now taken down, of course. You lose those EE1Ds, but the rest of Soniqs, they've been denied a lot of their positioning. Geo being shut down alongside Citizen on these yellow stairs. OXG know that the Soniqs are trying to push for control down below this yellow skylight and on this part of the map. Dream is also being very stingy with these toxic canisters. He knows they're there, but isn't getting too aggressive. Now as they peek, Geo will try to take the fight and do so successfully. Fish cut down and advantage equalized, but there's that second follow-up on the toxic canister. It might cost Fish and their advantage, but Dream knows how powerful those 10 seconds can be when the clock is low.
Absolutely. You can see Foxay, I do believe he's just getting his last goo mine too, and he's going to apply that to the situation. So much utility surrounding Soniqs. Now do remember, if one of those goo mines does get in their foot, they can't play it either. They will end up losing Foxay, but in a 3 versus 4 with minimal time, it practically doesn't matter. Dream's going to go down too. They just need to make sure to cover these crosses. There's a lot of potential here for the defense, but the offense is starting to fight back in a major way. After downing Dream, Yaga's going to get quite a bit of damage dealt to him. Newers will go down. They might just look for the kill here. Honestly, Lynx, they'll be able to at least get one. Geo's trying to confirm the plan.
いやーでも窓プラントだからなこれ。
not able to find the kill just yet. He's going to try and wait patiently in behind the long table and projector. Won't be able to really find too much. Soniqs not giving up the goods. And in fact, it seems like this round will be exactly what we needed out of them. The ability to stay alive. Naga's going to work his way in. He's found the case, but this has made it to where it's practically impossible. Somebody's already on rappel. They're going to throw flashes in. Dio's going to play this more than likely perfectly. He's a veteran of the game, and that's yeah, hopefully for Soniqs' sake, that's hopefully not the case, but wait, and it's some kills off the back of that. I think that really the world is their oyster for how they want to try and address this.
Plenty of different options to apply to the situation. Of course, there is always, especially for Soniqs on this clear, always obstacles you need to worry about. Those C4s in particular on that second floor. Maybe Auction will start channeling some of Gunner's energy to start. Just lurking around the map, hiding in corners. Plenty to worry about. No ying from Geo, though, this go around. But still an admin clear for the Soniqs. Shouldn't be too surprised there. This is where we need to see that progress. Gunner taking that same position, but on Keller's Archives, this is where he started to get stuck about this same spot. He had a lot more success on this top floor, but Foxy is now more than aware about Gunner's position, and I imagine the defense more broadly are as well. The Gunner likes to play, or has played this hallway previously. Will he take the gunfight accordingly? Gunner also waiting for it. Foxy will be walking into his crosshairs, but he backs off, plays the safer option.
And you're more than likely going to be seeing a lot of that, especially early in these rounds right now, just due to the situation we have at hand, right? Both of these teams do not want to be the one to give up a kill, and therefore they are playing these angles as tightly as possible.
強めに当たってきてんな。
past the ear of Citizen there.
さっきここで刈り取ることに成功
Both
し
of
た。
these squads respectfully breathing down each other's necks.
詰めた。
See if we can actually land the first death blow here. Citizen looking for it.
いやー、カバーダイン、今シズンの動きで釣り出そうとしてたね。うまいなー。ただ時間は犠牲にしてるね。残り1分。両上室まで取れてないから。あ、でもヒロック。おー！勝っちゃった。あれでも原子取れてるじゃんこれ。
Rights the ship. Takes him out on Spiral. Has some control over the site as
ブラントと消しちゃる。
Starting Nitro Cell.
しかしニトロで下からカバーするという別プランがあった。さっきの反省を生かしたねこれ。
Gunner just exposed himself a little bit to the angle down below, but in the process, Citizen lost. Oh, Gunner's teammate as well. Rexon unfortunately cut down to the floor. Oxygen get the round 6 they needed. Deciders now locked in, win or lose.
提案から情報収集からそのメンバーによる提案からアクションまでの連携がめちゃくちゃいいね。なんで現地入れさせてるんだろうと思ったら、まあ上取れてないんだけど、確かにプラントのポジが分かんなかったらいくらでも駆け引きできるから先にプラントして釣り出そうって感じだったね。
Actually trying to shoot those Selma charges on the outside and gets one but not the other. So Foxy won't be able to play for free on this single panel any longer.
A little delay there. Unfortunately enough, he'll more than likely be able to stick around the area and just get rid of some drones or...
中途半端にしか割れてない。これまずいですね。
Looking like Swiss cheese right now, Soniqs. Good news is that we got Citizen, so he can at least fix it. We do have the remedy, but once he got to get over there. Anytime I ever ordered a welder to a job site, it would always take them centuries. So I expect Citizen to have right around the exact same response time, and he might even die before he gets there, unless they don't even want to access that.
ここにいる人がやられた場合はここにポジショニングしてたら車線敷けるでしょじゃなくて今みたいに立体的にカバーしてくんだよな。
Citizen's going to occupy the outside space of yellow right now. Does have one at home right inside the door, but we'll have to see if he even tries to don that. It's going to be Gunner that strikes first, and he'll take down Fish in the top floor.
なんとかハードブリーチは成
A lot of the Kivas already generated. Oh, Yaga might find someone outside the yellow door, just going for the quick peeks, the style points in round 11. But neither decide to fully commit to that gunfight.
いやー、上下守りはマジでどこから来るから分かんないから。きついよな。やばい、ドリームさん。あー、ニトロうまく投げたんだけどね。キルに持っていけなかったね。
Have a full breach opened up into this bomb site. Fox in a quick workup on the rotate hole, and the round follows.
6-5か。
So they still have like the plastic wrap on their TV.
なるほど、タイムアウト。
Like it's basement is our final bomb. It's like, whatever. Boogie?
まあでも NA ね、綺麗でも勝てねえから。
We'll have to see if Gunner actually uses it to great effect in this round. I agree with your assessment that definitely at least the basement bomb site on console is a great.
だってシャーロットメジャーでダークゼロが優勝してから遠ざかってるよね、タイトル。
Probably very good as well for those boogies. But I mean, there's a lot of soft
まあ
in this
ヨーロッ
map.
パ一回 G2 がインビット取ったからだけど、この間ブラジルだしね、ダブルセブンだし。その前 BDS ローグだから。
For teams or players with good map knowledge and good instincts when it comes to vertical destruction.
Yeah, the best thing about the auto breacher with the common day of Rainbow Six Siege, with how important verticality is and the years of building that up with all the soft breach operators that we have, is that you finally have an operator where you don't have to be the one that gets blown by a nitro set or gets impacted 42 times or whatever have, you know.
いやでもさ、やっぱり競争力が弱いことは事実だと思うよ。
It's really nice.
今回9チームになってルミノシティとワイルドカードが頑張ってくれてるから競争力が上がったんだと思うけど、やっぱブラジルの競争力えぐいってマジで、あの10チーム。それは如実に出てると思う。
But still hoping to see a little bit more from the Sonics so far. Half the round in, we are finally seeing some of that.
お、ギリギリの車線管理。すげえ落ちなかった下に。ちゃんと床壊していく。今狙ったのか分かんな。
So we'll see if Gunner's able to make good use of those vertical angles. This is very different from how OXG took this site, by the way. They went down through the electrical single panel, through servers on the backside, and created a hole in the defense's back line where it's very front-sided for the Sonics. Focused on that top floor. Now Gunner moving down yellow to start applying some pressure to these defenders, in pillar inside a cafe. And it's taking a lot more time than it took OXG's play to get started.
That just means there's a lot of fun to be had.
すごいね、ドリームさんの覗き方。
Pure and utter chaos. As we are down to the last round of regulation, only 30 seconds remain. It's a 5 versus 5.
もう一回貼られた。
This is where things potentially build up to.
ミラー優先したの。いやーでもちょっと当てられたね。今勝負に行ったところだ。
Really matters as to what side of the stick you're
フラン
on.
トいけてる？
He was going to start to plan off. Rexon's going to light this powder keg.
あー抜けられた。いやーナスカバ。ガレージ外が間に合った。
Can you send us to overtime? It's looking like it.
あれ？オーバータイムの匂いしてきてるよこれ。
Out of Rexon. They're going to knock it down to Newers and Lynx. I'm just going to say it here first.
ブラジル振り返りしますよ。ちょっと明日の夜できるかわかんない。
pick up that first kill. And the second. I'm still going to be a doubter. I'm sorry, Newers. You can prove me wrong. Feel free to. But I mean, there's just so much for you to do, my friend. No doubt against your skill, but just a lot of doubt against the setup.
オーバータイムかい。長いのよ。NA は。ピシャッといこうピシャッと。3連休とか俺関係ねえもん。
At Ying, I have to imagine SQ will be trying to bring back some success on that top floor clear. Not necessarily starting on the admin side this time. Now that I say it, maybe they're going a little bit more direct and focusing more on clearing out CEO as Rexon moves over to bathroom.
いやミラージュもしっかり今回はね仕上げてきてるしね。
Rix will be able to run a rough shot over the majority of the site as of now, seeing if there's any other utility that he can steal.
カレンダー通り休みだと思うなよ。
And take this Valkyrie camera.
というかマジで俺もうフリーランスになってから曜日感覚ねえから土日とか気にしたことないから。土日唯一気にするのは映画館に行くとき混みそうだから行きたくねえなのそれぐらいのことだから。キングダム見に行こう。頑張って。マジで見て。絶対見に行った方がいいって。
Especially a big Valk cam to stop OXG from having any intel on the planter, as notably they had a pulse to look down below before, and that's how they got the C4 onto Geo. But now they were relying on that Valk cam, instead relying on the Valkyrie to open things up.
いやー、ここのやっぱエントリー見ないといけない車線多いね。今真横見てたけど、やっぱトイレの車線先に見ないといけないからしょうがないんだよね。
They lack a solid man advantage. Rexen retaking that same position, but Oxygen recognizing their lead are not looking to get aggressive. They know they have CEO. They know the onus is on SQ to push them out. They can take 20 more seconds. That's a third of the time SQ have to play with. Nade caught by an ADS, but Rexen still has one more. Foxay looking to make that swing, not looking to get the kill though. Citizen's able to equalize. Now Geo drops down with the diffuser. Fish goes for the peek, first shotgun shot misses. That scares the SQ attacker back down the stairway. But Fish still has full control of the top floor. This bit of the map denied to the Soniqs as they move in for their execute. Grixer now does gain the advantage, but Fish is still up above. Still has these vertical holes to play off of. No Valcam in sight, maybe. But depending on where Geo plants or where Citizen plays, they are in jeopardy of losing their head from a vertical angle. Push further in, intel on the player sitting inside of X position. Now this part of the bomb site cleared out. They can move in and start going for the plant. Rexen spots another. 4v1. Fish has got to creep down. Got to get this kill. Ooh, smoked off the angle. But the trades are clean. Match point for SQ. One round away from securing gold.
熱いね、でも。上位対決、ワンマップでもここまでもつれる、本当に。
Overtime and give Lynx and I our second or third max OT that we've casted throughout this stage. So
find out real quick.
Yeah, I do believe it's 3, but
ユニティが新しいライセンスフィーを追加したのが話題になってた。どういうこと？新しいライセンスフィーって何？ユニティがいきなり料金形態変えて炎上してる。ということは？でもセールしちゃったらさ、カエルソフトの儲けが薄いからさ。どういうこと？逆にダメなんじゃない？なんでセールした？
with secondary hard breach and a gun 6-2, so just so much value in this character. And to this day, I still think that Oxygen are one of the best teams in the world when it comes to Zero. Because I mean, you do see him, sprinkled throughout a lot of teams nowadays, but still not a hallmark like what we've seen with this squad throughout the history of Siege.
This would, by the way, this would, if this goes to round 15, this would be.
じゃあユニティからエンジン乗り換えるから、ここでユニティバージョンを一回売り切ろうみたいな。でもやらかしちゃったでセールしてる。それどれで買えるの？スチーム？ノリセールみたいな感じ。ちなみにさ、YouTube に上げた時思ったんだけどさ、みんなのコメント一応俺読んでるけどさ、YouTube で見てる人は何のこっちゃ分かんないから、突然こいつカイロソフトの話してるぞってなってる。Steam で 80% 引き買うわ。俺ちょうどさ、時間できたらさ、マジでカイロソフト1回次やりてえなと思って、次新規何やりますかって言うとカイロソフト1本挟みてえなと思ってた。
He knows someone's in the area, but Yog, that's 2 huge, crucial misses out of Oxygen on a round that they must capture to keep this game going. Fish with a blunder as well as Yog. Neither one of them striking through. And now it's allowed Soniqs to maintain not only the man advantage, but bleed this clock out dry. They'll finally lose somebody. J.O.'s going to swing in the hallway. He'll take down one. And for all of this effort, Oxygen have been able to get a singular kill off onto Rexen. They've been boxed out of the site as of now. They'll at least be able to get one of the panels back of projector dealt with.
ユニティがゲームインストールごとに課金に変えますよってなって炎上してるんで、あ、そういうこと。クレノさん初めてチャットありがとうございます。あ、なるほどね、そういうことか。だから今のうちにセールしてインストール量増やしとこうっていうことか。だって値段変えられないもんな、それな。
Seeding depending on what happens. There we go. Citizen and Grixer finish it off. No participation trophy needed to get the best of both worlds. Both teams well on their way to making the major outpost to the LCQ. We'll throw it to the desk to talk about our now.
それユニティのサーバー叩きに行ってんのかな？よくわかんないんだけど、ユニティのサーバー叩きに行ってるから、もうサーバーの維持費がきついんですって話だったらまあ納得感ないわけじゃないけどさ、まだあるのこれ？残れる可能性はこのお二人にはどうなんですか、そのあたり。なかったなかったね。一応 10% 残るんだ。ビーストコーストとミラージュ ミラージュは 49% あるんだな。あ、ミラージュ 49% ってまだまだあるね、そう考えると。これはミラージュ頑張らんといかんね。
Time.
あ、ごめん。進みすぎ。
Halfway through the round.
こう、さじ加減がむずい。一人死んでる。
Used to Mirage doing. They've been looking very, very good.
噂だけど CEO はこの発表前に株売り払ったとかなんとかそんなところまで共有されてんだ。
Well, I was about to say, like, I mean, wanna give a lot of credit to the Mirage players, but Spiker did an excellent job at holding whatever his secondary gadget button was, then holding mouse 1 and walking away. It's resulted in the first kill of the round. Spiff.
一概に関係ないとは言えないんじゃない。1年前からこれを計画してたからそれを察知して売り払ってたっていうことはありえるんじゃないか。
beastcoast strengths though that persist through the middle game right now.
発表のタイミングなんて内部でいつ決まったかなんて分かんないからな。
Mr. B on that pulse. You see him running about inside a train, likely finding intel on players.
ちなみにポケモンスリープって今年リリースされたんだっけ。俺が2017年に在籍してた時から企画が上がってたからそんなもんよ。その時確かね、一回発表してるから問題ないとも言っても。
Halfway through the round now. beastcoast doing their due diligence when it comes to the info game. You can see Mr. B occupying that cardiac sensor.
1年かけてたらインサイダーにならないのかな。
He can try and find across his top floor.
それってインサイダーになる。インサイダーってさ、俺の感覚だと情報を仕入れた第三者が有益な利益を上げるって感じなんじゃない。株主がそれを見越して売り払うのって別に不当でもなんでもないんじゃない。アメリカインサイダーないんだ。
Here inside of stacks, as that window play usually does end up spelling disaster for this player.
今展開型シュートで逆に見えなかったね。
Hansen will go down. He was that player over in the cigar position we touched on before. And as of right now, 3 versus 3 is it's kind of hell in a handbasket. Everybody finding their own pick through really their own means, and that being exemplified by whatever the hell we just saw Doc do.
Run out a white window, I believe, is what you were trying to diagnose. But Mirage don't seem too fearful about it. Not really worried all that much. Swampy has walked into the default plant spot inside a reading. Rampy's picked up the case instead. beastcoast really all that aware. Sloppy firing some shots, but no retake just yet. The perfectly for Mirage so far. Decides to commit to the retake of the top floor. Knows one. Well, definitely knows someone's around on that close angle. No shotgun needed. SSG11 and a kill for Mr. B too. That's what Sloppy alone in the 1 versus 2. Knows one player's up above, but the other player's position might elude him. Not for the defense though. They've got the default cam in red spotting him. And as he goes for the retake, Doc shut down on the vertical angle. Mr. B does not fake and does not fall off. You can see him clutching his chest after that one.
ミスター B の 1ラウンド取ることの喜び方えぐいな。
Extensions and coat check.
全然ミルセンでいいんじゃないですか。僕もバロラントやってなくてミルセンですから。まあそもそもそんなにやってねえけど。ユニティ従業員が反発してるって聞いてあるけど。
There's been quite a few just rounds in the Siege history. There are still things happening that people that have played this game from beta links are still being surprised.
あ、そうか、ビーストコーストヨシさんが引き続き出てるのか。トヨシさん注目やな。C9 という謎のタグをつけてる。クラウド9にアピールしてる。クラウド9もでも最近あんまり他のタイトルでも聞かなくなったな。バロラントでもなんかね解散しちゃったし。ブラジル配信はできないです、さすがに。今日本当に奇跡的に早く終わったからやってるだけだから。
All 5 defenders
ビールの爆破予告のユニティの話それ。
inside the VIP and the coat check positions, though Hat has rotated out of the ladder to support the defender playing inside a VIP right now. Likely a good move. They've got the clash to do a similar job to what Hat was accomplishing.
ゲームの恨みってさ。
Doc playing in that position on the bottom of VIP stairs now has
親の敵ぐらいな感じするやついるからな。こ
の
間タックさんの動画でさ、ネットゲームでなんか 起きた事件のまとめの動画やってたんだけどさ、日本でもさネットゲームで負けて殺人事件って過去にあったんだよ。例年の10枠目に C9 が来るっていうリークです。リークにも何もなってないです。アメリカだとスワッティングあります。スワッティングってどういうものなの？そのさ、なんとなく新用語使ってくるんだけどさ、全くついていけないから。なんかミスタービーはあんまりクラッシュうまくないよね。別のマップでもなんか見たけど、なんか車線管理下手なんだよ。クラッシュ。住所を聞き出して通報してスワットを突入される。あ、それなんかそれ聞いた。あれ？あれ？いや、ミラージュこれもったいないぞ。
He might have been talking about Rampy. He's certainly shutting down the conversation over on bottom VIP, but he's got only 10 seconds to recover the diffuser. Huge play by Spiff to seemingly tie round 2 up for Beast Coast, but does Rampy have it in him to clutch a 1v2 in 5 seconds? No, he does not. They say, I hear, that Spiff does not whiff, and when 3 players stick their heads in a row, pretty hard to miss a shot. Who was
まあそうね。でもさ、真面目な話するとさ、今京アニの裁判やってるじゃん。犯人の妄想がもうえぐくて、あんなの止めようがあんのかって思っちゃうよな。あれ恨みでも何でもなくて妄想による恨みだからさ、なんか何か例えば今回のユニティみたいにさ、明らかにこう反発の多いことやっちゃったんだったら、まあそれは恨みも買うよねってわかるけどさ、あんなの人外だぞ。ランピーも昔は確かバックもそうだね。でもなんかフルーツのイメージが強いけどな。SSG 時代で言うと。ランピーもバック使ったイメージなんだ
You can see Mirage are very well aware of this. They know that this top floor, you don't need every single piece of it in order to force a plant on this. You really just need to oversee Christmas. But as with the strategy of Beast Coast, they know exactly what this site needs.
社会はさ、共通認識できる人たちでコミュニティを作ってここまで大きくなってきたわけだからな。そこに相入れない人の思考を追いかけようっていうのがそもそもおこがましいのかもしれない。フルーツアッシュだっけ？あ、ランピーバックでフラグ使ってたか。フラグ時代だよね、それね。その時もあったの。トリさん今日おとなしいね。なんかスキンはすごい派手だ。いやでもミラージュここ取ればね 50% 近く戻せるんだったら絶対3ポイント欲しいね。全然可能性あるじゃん。まだ望みはつなげるぞ。
find their own openings. Rampy is doing that. He's found the long bar, but Spiff has found Kansan peeking through the vertical holes inside of the long bar. Ivana's already really done her job at this point, so losing that utility not that big of a loss, but 40 seconds left the attack just now finding themselves in an untraded 5v4. Spiker would be hoping that if there's a defender, which there is, Spiker also on low HP. If Tristan doesn't move, it's just a permanent man.
セットの前に当たられて何もうまく作れてないね。これ何にも取れてないぞほぼ。3回取れてますが効果的な位置を取れてるとは全く言えないぞこれ。あれでもプラントいけた？うわ最小限のプラントでまあいけないよな。そりゃそうだよな。いやだってこのシガーラウジとプラントしてるあの角しか取れてない。うんそうだね。タイムアウト取って一回整理した方がいいねミピ。何がダメなのか。京アニの犯人が病院で看護師に恋したって聞いてる。じゃあ待ってそれはそうどこまで本当か分かんないよそれ。
Man, he just gives me butterflies when he does stuff like that, you know?
メディアが作ってる情報かもしれない。
I don't have.
いや俺がなんか
I ran out of jokes. I'm sorry.
えぐいなと思ったのはなんだっけ、世界のナンバー2が京アニの女性監督と私を結婚させようとしてるみたいな供述してて、なんだそれ。
Listen, I always have a couple jokes like.
そんな妄想以外の何でもない。そもそも世界ナンバー2の人物って誰だよみたいな。権力者がなんで世界ナンバー2のやつがお前の個人的な事情に介入してくんだよ。意味が分かんない。そんなのもうなんか小学生が考えるような漫画のシナリオだもん。無理だよな。そう。お、飛び出した。まあここはハットらしいね。ちょっと王子がフルス対決王子、フルス対決王子、フルス対決王子燃えてるぞ。
Not the first time Mirage have gotten the opening pick.
ナンバー2な謎いでしょ。それも意味わかんないじゃん。
Mirage were able to acquire the opening pick in both.
そもそも世界ナンバー2の人物ってどうやって決めんだよ。
Now here, as you said, 4v3 established. They have the ability to start opening up those floorboards very quickly, and they got to this very position in round one. It was a very, very clutch defuse from Mr. B that ended up giving beastcoast the round victory. So there were a lot of great things from Mirage early on. It's actually probably beastcoast, even despite winning round one, that are looking to change a lot of the mistakes and make a lot more ground on denying this pressure from Mirage. And Mr. B, with the goals, they've got C4 you can see on your screen. That is the method by which they're trying to do it without forcing a
そうなったら
retake.
結構日本被害被る位置にいるからな。一番ご近所さんだ。
So tantalizing for Mr. B to try and reassess this, try and get a plant down through a different means. I think he's rotated off as well. He was just over behind that bookshelf. He's now going down. They have to have cover on this. There's 4 people alive. They don't, but Mr. B is going to go down. The plant will go through, and that should be the round. It will indeed. This Mirage will take that.
今のは浮いてるところというか当たり方変えたね。リズム変えてキル取れるとこは拾っていこうって感じになってたな。
Most hallmark operators that you can potentially get him on. It's going to be the Buck. See if their verticality helps him out at all. Now, do remember, this is the site where Spiff went nucleosis here inside of VIP, and they're already starting to address this, stripping away some of the material he has around him, making him more easily accessible to the offense.
He is warded now, though. That is a little bit. That is a key operator change that keeps the 1.5, but he's able to peer through those flashes. Angles might be one thing, but secondary utility might not make too much of a difference. He's able to use that gadget to get to the right position. Mr. B moving to freezer this time instead of playing around the red stairs position like he did in round 2, giving Spiff quite a bit of intel on these players playing either outside the garage or later on white stairs vertical, taking the second floor position of effectively the same spot. With him and Rampy, the duo clear before, were able to find that clash and might just be able to find it again, but Skeleton Key not able to land a shot.
今のはちょっとあれだね。スケルトンキーがあんまり入んなかったからラッキーだった。
Forced to back out, but still alive.
He's gonna be counting his lucky stars on that. This clash probably going to end up being one of the more pivotal operators when it comes down to the execute from Mirage. They're going to continue stripping up all of these floorboards. And this right here is the beauty of the Boogie drone.
レースです。
Roomba action is it'll soak up
ブギ1号とブギ2号のレースですが、残念ながらブギ1号が勝利しました。
mining on both sides. This is something that used to be a buck and sledge job, as they would have to work up here tirelessly for right around 20 to 30 seconds just to get their angles set up, man. It takes some time, especially because some of these panels you actually have to pop inside the site. That's actually something that only Sledge can do to this day. So some of those angles still only capable of being accessed by him.
ディズニーとかミッキーとかキャラクターに1ミリも興味ねえからな。
Bring us through these last handful of seconds.
ああ、ミッキーだなぐらい。
The only thing they have remaining really is this VIP player.
でもキャラクターに可愛いキャラクターに興味がないかというとそんなことは全然ない。
Take, but there's still slightly more work to be done, but down goes Spiff. No big 4K
時間がないな。
Mirage get that first bit of control. Now if they can destroy that Cuba, they're well on. Moving
やっぱ下手なのよ、ミスター B の車線管理マジで申し訳ないけど。
And this one looks like a very dominant win lined up in the next 15 seconds.
だってさ、今さ、カンゼンがさ、ビップ側から詰めてたのにさ、ビップ側のケア全然しなかったよね。
Maybe a gunfight he wins, but that's another time and another place as the last defender is cut in half in the bomb site. Kansas is able to shut that one down.
He
checkered on all of these options. I don't think Mirage on just covering it a little more effectively. That's the name of the game.
いや、盛り返してきたんじゃない？タイムアウトからの流れだいぶいいと思うよ。
Not all just
あれ、こんな
done
立体スキンあっ
inside
たっ
of
け？
cannon fodder,
なんだ？
and inside of objective play as well. Team strategy. I've always found so awesome about Siege. It feels like other FPSs and their natural respects, kind of more chess or rather checkers oriented.
これでもディズニーランド全く興味ないんで、結構10年、もう20年ぐらい前の話かな。さすがにそこまでいかないな。15年ぐらい前の話か。30になった時ぐらいかな。友達のね、父親が親友で単身赴任で海外赴任してて、奥さんと子供を僕がディズニーランドに連れて行ったことある。子供2歳ぐらいかな。めちゃくちゃ楽しかった。子供が可愛くて。クラッシュうまい選手って誰？アニツンだね。アニツンがうまい。なぜかというと、モンターニュとブリッツの使い方見てれば車線管理マジでうまいじゃん。あれ世界トップクラスだもん。まああとクラッシュはモンターニュと違ってそんなに前に上がる必要がないから、どちらかというとここで仁王立ちしといてってケース多いじゃん。でそこで情報取ってみたいな。あんまり上手い選手っていうイメージないんだけど、ミスタービは前に行き過ぎんだよ。マジでライン合わせが下手だと。ディズニーランド修学旅行で行ったきりだけど、土砂降りで何も乗れなかった思い出しかない。それは草だ。それでも何かでアップデートした方がいいんじゃない？もう一回言って。あ、ビキニだね。ビキニマジでうまい。背中に背負って亀してからのキルとかのクリップ結構見たぞ。
How low time is remaining might not be something Mirage really cares about. Might instead just hold that Christmas side, move down the red stairs, get a plant inside of mining. But either way, if they want to go a different way, their time's running out to change up.
Yeah, it feels like they almost just need to build up a head of steam here and go for it. They've stripped away quite a bit from Beast Coast. Yes, they still have some angle play working its way in, but you do have the main advantage. You've at least brought some verticality into the mix here. Now it's time to try and flirt with this case links and try and get the defense to respond to you. You can get some good coverage, especially with the amount of people that Mirage have up. You can more than likely just kill Beast Coast as they try to work their way in and stop this plant. That's exactly what they're going to try and do. It's 3 versus 5, make it a 2 versus 5 from BC's perspective. Tristan's worked his way up into the red hallway, but they can't stop him either. It's only going to be Doc with a kill for now. Tristan, can he find much? He found a lot on Nighthaven the other day. As of right now, it's not looking like it's going to be a possibility for him. The will for might have been shot. Rounds coming out of Spiff to be able to not only pick up 2 rounds and make sure you're at least at an
クラッシュとか自我を出したら負けないイメージで、まあトップリーグではそうかな。亀内開発したのビキニなんだ。へえ。いやでもあれをさ、配信で使い続ける弾力って俺すごいと思うんですよ。マジでストレス溜まると思うもん。やっぱり練習してから配信してんだろうな。それぞれの縦オペナンバーワン君をまずフューズ取ってはカナさん。カナさんしか使ってねえからね、直近で。ここ2年ぐらいで多分カナさんしか使ってねえぞ、あれ。カナさんが1回だけ出しただけ、しかも1回だけじゃねえかよ。あ、2回か。2回出したっけ？カナさん出したの本当に前、ここ2年で1人だぞ、あれ。
inexperience at a tier 1 level. Again, last stage just being his first one.
出場選手の段階で勝った。
Well renowned for being able to coordinate great plays, great clears with his teammates, but since then, that coordination on Beast Coast has been very lacking in this stage so far. And Cafe is a map when you're attacking where that needs.
あいつ練習してないよ。あ、じゃあまあ配信イコール練習みたいな回がある。
Look at these Kibas, the deployable shields, and then just consider the long angle that Mira has set up on the cocktail side of things. You need to be strong on your utility clearing and positioning on this map, and East Coast, they need to level up their game from these previous play days.
3-3か。こう考えるとビーストコーストちょい不利やな。
Well, hopefully for Beast Coast's sake, they're able to evolve here. Take a little time, a little reflection.
いや、ビキニうまいうまい。全然うまい。俺なんかはるかに。
It's the name of the game when it comes to trying to review things here for these respective squads.
まあ MG は別格としてキングジョージとかみんなうまい。
This out. Does have the potentiality of 2 kills, only going to be able to tag up Rampy a little bit, but for Mirage's sake, They're doing a pretty good job of blending as of right now. I love that positioning there from Rampy. He's going to work his way into Dark, and although at first glance it doesn't seem like the greatest thing for him, he does have that super shorty secondary. So if he can stave off elimination down there long enough and they go for something like a plant and long bar, he could be the one to stop them from underneath with that secondary shotgun. Gonna have some trades back and forth now. As this timer is eating at Beast Coast, is forcing them to try and push, get ahead, and work out the rest of this map, get some picks, find a home for this case.
なるほど。ロテード作って、しかし残り30秒。これどうまとめるの
Get the first pick onto Spiker, but Tristan falls very soon after. Beast Coast 20 seconds left. Don't have a clear way in just yet. The utility clear I mentioned earlier, bathroom position still solid with the mirror window.
打ち負けるためにアンラッキー、ランダムヘッドショットしか言わな
Beast
かった。
Coast
そ
are
んなこ
just
とねえ
walking into the setup of Mirage, and once the defense goes to retake the
や
top
っぱり
floor,
ちょっ
the
と攻撃の
castle
まと
doesn't
めに
even
課
play
題ある
vertical.
ね、
Just
ビース
walks
ト
up
コー
red
スト。
stairs to deal with the
どう
attack
なんだろう
from
ね。
behind.
これミスター B が全部
Mirage
IGL して
just
コントロールしようと
wasn't
してんのかな。
countered in that
何を言ってるかというと IGL なのミスター B なの間違いないんだけど、なんか他の人の提案が薄すぎてミスター B のさノーキャパ超え始めたんじゃないかなって気がする。
barricade on that bathroom position, but the main part, those mirror windows are all very much the
キン
same.
グジョージはたまに資産運用とか不動産の話がおもろい。あいつそんなに硬いんだね。やるな。俺もちょっと修行しに行こうかじゃあ。やつの
Most
ところに。
definitely. Every single one of those pieces of utility respectively have their own level of annoyance to them as well.
イメージだ
The
けど。
castle barricades will get stripped off of the white
キングジョージは
hallway,
そういう
but
の
I
しっ
don't
か
know
り
if
や
the
って
one
るけ
still
ど、
exists on the door. I'm going to assume that it does as of
シュラウド
right
と
now,
かやっ
so
てなさそう
I'll
だ
have
よ
to clear that for the
勝手なイメー
bathroom.
ジ。
But I mean,
案
like
外
you're
や
saying,
って
there's
そう
just so
な
many
真面目な
different
シュ
things
ラウド
going
な感じな
on
んだ
with
けど、意外にやって
utility
ません。
strategy leading into this from Mirage that'll make your head spin, especially when you add in that layer for Fenrir. You know, you might clear out everything, but if you miss that fear gas just over in the corner, all of a sudden you can't see on your swing, and you're more than likely going to lose out simply because of one piece of utility.
今日トリスタンやっぱり抑えられてる
on
ね。
their minds right now, and the key thing is,
昨日ほど
especially
の
for
インパ
Mr.
クトねえ
B,
な。
right? He has to try and find a way through the thick of this.
Yeah, he's got to keep a lot of the pieces
なんか
in
ミスター B
order,
の
a
顔
lot
が
of
日
the
に日に
factors
老け
in
てい
his
く気がするん
mind.
だけど、気のせい。
Started on
老け
that
ていく
white
っていうかあれ
stairs,
だ
and
な。
it's actually
疲
not
れ
even
てる顔が
utility
す
to
る。
start. Wow,
見えるだけど気のせ
Tristan
い。
unfortunately not the one to get the opening pick. Doc goes down right at the same time. But
あいつ
thankfully, because
SI
of
の優勝
Tristan,
賞
Beast
金から
Coast do
ゴリ
not
ゴリ
go at a
投資してる。
disadvantage. They're able to keep it at a
SI ってさ、
4v4.
イヤー1の初年度
That
のこと
game
でしょ
maybe a
それ
little bit of ground now that they've cleared out that
コンティ
pixel
のも
player.
ろ
The
くな話だよ。
warding down as well. So moving across that top floor a little bit easier, as it is mining and dining. If they do want to stop on that top floor, they could, but Mr. B has found that cocktail is entirely clear. So the entire second floor is in the hands of Beast Coast. Now it's just what they make of it.
もうだからさ、イヤー1で優勝して、あ、これでプロで上がったわっつって投資家になったってことでしょ。
Tristan's
投資
last
家とまでは言わないけ
breaching
ど、
round. Headed out
着
into the
実に
floor.
資産増やして老後の
Get us angle
安
for
泰を
him
確保してるでし
for
ょ。
Red 90.
すげえな。
Just have to worry about a couple of other
やるなジョージ。
points here from the defense so they could potentially swing through.
大事大事でも
Things
そうい
like
う。
Hell Door as well as the 90 hallway, all occupied by Mirage right now. And this is going to be pretty hotly contested back and forth between these two coming down to the wire.
次の1キルが結構勝敗決めそうだね。残り30秒。まだ時間ねえぞ、ビーストコースト。
stop this leg of the assault. And this is where it could all matter
フルス
most
に
to
対して
both
王
of
子が
these
気を入って
teams.
る
Who
ぞ。
wins out this next engagement? It's
王子の
very
限
low
界ポジ
time. They're going to have to try and
起きた
commit to
鳥
a
さん。
plant eventually.
あーでも
Red's
ラ
going
ビー
back
か
and
ば。
forth again.
あ、ミサ
Mr.
ビ
B
落と
is
され
going
た。
to go down. No
う
real
わーこれ
coverage.
F ナットで止められたな。
To the oversight on these flanks, and they're going to lose another one yet again. It's down to Spiff. Our earlier clutch with the 1 versus 3.
いやーこれ
They'll be able to at
1v2
least get
だ
one
から
on
ね。
very minimal
赤階
time.
段
I
抑えられ
don't
たし
think
プラ
that
ダい
he's
け
going
な
to be
い。
capable. Doesn't even have the case in hand. And with that being said, that's going to be the round going to the defense of Mirage.
ちょっ
Stop
と
to take the time
あれ
out.
だね。
Critical control.
ビーストコーストは攻撃やな。だからあいつキレゲー以外つまんないんだけどね。俺と一緒じゃねえかよ。キレゲーの俺と同じじゃないか。
Monty might be a good way to do that.
なんて気合入ってる
Walk on in.
すごいいいこと
Say,
だと
all
思う。い
right,
や、
this
宮
is
城
the
仕上がり
spot
悪
we're
くないよ、
taking.
マジで。
Bakery, maybe for example,
俺は
this is the
も
spot we're
う可能
taking.
性がほぼない
But
ビースト
most
コーストには
thankfully,
申し
you
訳
can
ない
do
け
it
ど、
with Rampy in a great position
ミラー
to
ジュ
shoot
3
the
ポイント
tank
取っ
on
て
the back
リー
of
グ
the
全体も
auto
う少し
breacher.
面白くしてほし
Stop
い
it
な
in
最
its
後まで
tracks.
と
Now
思
it has still opened up a hole in the floor
う。ビー
to
ストコー
look
ストはマ
down
ジ
on
で
the
残
bottom
念。
red. Probably
俺
one
の
of the more
ミ
important
スター B へ
positions
の期
that
待は
auto
相
breacher
当
could
高
have
かったん
opened
だ
up.
けどな。
So Rampy spot
何
still
の
a
哲
little
学
more
もないチー
difficult
ム
to
作っ
hold,
ちゃっ
but
た。
with the second one out, maybe now the co-check position can be revealed
新しい
as
哲
well.
学で で新しいメタで俺がシージの歴史に名を残すんだっていう気概がステージ1面白かったのに、それがマジでない。マジでないっていうかうまくいかなかったんだよね。あったかもしれないけど。
It's Tristan holding them, and not many other tools held by beastcoast to deal with that player.
なんか思想が見えないチームに。なんかやろうとしてんだけど結局バラバラで、なんか本当なんていうかな、基本のシージもできてないぐらいのレベル。嘘でしょ？
There is absolutely
今足元見えたじゃん。
that is the way that round is going to go. There is no way that beastcoast have spent half this round droning things, and no one knew there was a frost mat inside of bakery. That can't even
今のも本当にそんな
possible, right?
初歩的なミスじゃん。あと優先順位としてそこまでミスター B が詰める必要あったのかって話なんだよな。
Man,
I'm not mad, Lynx. I'm just disappointed.
実回も呆れてるじゃん。めっちゃため息出てたぞ。
I mean, you saw it on Mr. B's face too, right? He literally said, "Oh my God, a frost
だって
mat."
上取りに行ってるわけだからさ。
I mean, same,
上取れ
man.
てからモンタ
Same,
ー
but
ニューで
like,
もいいじゃん。
Retweet.
その間にベーカリーの
just
情報を
yeah,
取り
yeah,
続け
plus
るこ
one
と
on
が
that.
大事じゃない？
But I mean, you can see beastcoast trying to put together the pieces here at that point. I mean, with what just one
スーパーウィークの
thumb.
疲れ出てます。いや、状
Suddenly
況
it's
一緒だし。
You can just tell. You
一
can
番
tell
疲
from
れ
the
るのは
demeanor
6試合
of
やっ
the
てる
characters.
SSG
You
の
don't have to see their faces, hear their
No,
voices.
just we're seeing two people stuck outside the double door, stuck outside the window. I mean, Tristan has diffuser. That alone should be alarm bells in your head right there. Spiff does get Spiker. All right, maybe we have something. VIP push trying to work out. Can't seem to get all the way back. So they've taken control of the long bar. Sloppy now about to face a lot of pressure inside of VIP. There is a dreaded frost mat underneath that window, so hopefully beastcoast are careful. But they have acquired, despite the loss of the Monty, some significant control. Rampy playing close on that door. Is able to get two big kills, but not before Mirage. Lose a very solid lead, but still maintain at least one body ahead of Hat and beastcoast. And one pick doesn't matter. 3 rounds in a row for Mirage to get to 6-3.
他のエリア取りに行かないといけない、 B プラン発動しないといけないから、結局裏を無理に取りに行ってさ、結局時間なくなって取れたよ。
Unfortunately enough for beastcoast, it is the true.
だいぶミスが目立つね、ミスター B 今シーズン。マジでそう思う。
Ended up winning, and beastcoast have the caliber of players mechanically to bring back those advantages. I mean, Spiff 11-7 right now, and he might be dead, unfortunately, but Hat also is a very talented player who can pull off some big moments. But when you're going to get up against people like Rampy, like Vertical, like Kansas, those types of executes that you might get away with at a lower level, it's not going to be as consistent here. It might work out sometimes, but not nearly as often as it used to. Rampy's also, by the way, on the defense, been having an incredible half so far. Huge multi-kills throughout, I believe, the majority of these rounds. Triples, doubles, everything it seems. No double here, but gets the first pick on the Hat, then is immediately traded out by Doc, but that was the attack's only source of frag grenades.
スーパーミスター B に甘い。
Thankfully, there's no magnets or ADSs of any kind, but dealing with these picks positions can be a little bit more difficult if you want to get a kill from them.
ここまで若い人でさ、
Not only that, just frag grenades good for business when it comes to the offense, right? You never know what you're going to get with those things. Could be a piece of utility, could be 2 big kills. You never really know. So definitely going to be sorely missed for beastcoast's sake, and Mirage going to be very happy about the results that they've been getting so far on this defensive end. And honestly, just a little bit of the veteраnism, I'd say, getting shown from Rampy, Vertical, and Kansan. They just know when to push the buttons, Lynx. They are so very patient right until the moment where it matters most to beastcoast, and then they strike and take it all away from them. And that has been a routine occurrence throughout this. Now, beastcoast have done it to themselves in some instances, like we saw in that last one, but Mirage definitely having a very solid strategy as to how beastcoast are going to do this. Oh my god, please. Oh, thank the Lord. Whew. I had to send some prayers upstairs for beastcoast there for a second. That was a little too close for comfort as 3 people are standing on a depth charge.
Little too many blue highlights circling that position. The Dodgers decided, all right, they're trying to see for our backline. Let's push forward. Put a few bullets in the face of Slothy and the rest of Mirage, but hasn't resulted in a firm lead just yet. Spiker does find one, but doesn't come away with it with a kill. It's a 1v2 though. beastcoast sorely needed. Please don't throw it away like this, man. You've just gotten it. A few big kills early on. Don't let the game end here off a clutch of Mirage's own. Spiker sees him around the keep barrier, knows he's pushing up through the pixel position, rotates accordingly, trying to bait beastcoast as much as he can, dodges the flash. Where is Spiff gonna push this? In through freezer, close with the bearing 9. He's going to check this position. Does Spiker win it? Yes, he does! 7-3 for Mirage as they keep beastcoast down way at the bottom. But they move up now to 8 points in the NAL, a little bit closer to 6th. We'll throw it to the desk to break down another heartbreaking loss for BC.
生き残ったねミラージュ。いいよいいよ、頑張れ頑張れ。最後まで最終日まで沸かしてくれよね。あ、次最後だ。あー来た SSG とワイルドカード。ちょっとこれ見ようぜ。 SSG どんだけ可能性あるのこれ。お前の顔じゃねえんだよラクシング。筋肉の皮いらねえんだよ。あ、意外にあるねまだ両チーム。あ、ワイルドカード、あ、まあ、ワイルドカード、あ、ワイルドカードもうこれトップ2の可能性なんだ。あ、ここで3ポイント取れば 88% の確率でトップ2入んの？江口洋介さん出ましたこれ。SSG、あ、まあ SSG でもさ、レギュレーションウィンで 55% だったら、まあ多分ミラージュとの一騎打ちかこれ、そうなってくると。あるね。同じ顔のストーンは俺のせいじゃねえって。ツイッチのせいだって。よし、見ていきましょう。楽しみやな。うわー、これマジか。ワイルド3ポイント取ったら 88% でトップ2。これまたカフェじゃないこれ。またカフェか。カフェ人気ある。
Most definitely, and tends to be the case.
でもクレパピもね、ワイルドカード見たんですよ。すんげえ強いと思った。
Well, but SSG deciding not to make that too big a part of their strategy. Instead, keeping it a little looser, bringing the Solus instead, having the Fenrir as well to shut down some specific entrances and angles. So, yeah, WildCard decided to deal with that as this team has played pretty fast and loose over the course of the NAL so far, and they've sprinted all the way to the top. Only just today losing their first place spot to M80. Overall, I mean, what else can you say other than just some incredible play that we've seen from new roster inside of the NAL? How they'll deal with some of this SSG players, that's to be seen. Packer on that buck, looking to maybe find this Solus downstairs and reading. Now been thrown down. So multiple players coming on in. Fultz just flicked on a hot and cold, actually, by the way, but didn't end up killing him. Packer finds Fultz hot and cold down too. SSG dismantled with basically no fight.
Really no response, and kind of difficult to have one at the end of the day, right? It was perfectly timed.
Holy.
ワイルドカードはね、違うんですよ。もともとオセアニアリーグにいたんですよ。オーストラリア。で、今回そのオセアニアで、まあオセアニアリーグが今かなり苦しくて、まあオセアニアリーグの参加やめますって言って、オーストラリアの選手たちを手放して、で、特別に NA の参加が認められたんですね。なので新規で NA にチームとして参入してきて、いろいろとトライアウトしてこの5人を取って、まあスピリッツ、このスピリッツとか、あとマークは元 TSM にいたマークで、まあスピリッツは X セットのユニフォームを後ろに掲げてる通り元 X セットだったりして、まあ一応トップリーグ経験者は何人かいるんだけど、あとサーフもトップリーグ経験者か。でも結構アトムとパッカがすごいいい選手で、マジでバランスがいい。メンバーチェンジじゃなくてもうまるっとチームが参入してきた。M80 とはね、確か終わってない。M80 とDarkZero まだ残ってるはず。ワイルドカード。
Like, is that highbrow analysis? No, but like, what else do you want me to say? Packer opened up the hole at this particular angle, and then two people in rating, and then no longer in rating the next second. WildCard did a very good job attacking that initial bomb site, and now we'll see how they go trying their hand at the second floor. This go around. No solos this time for SSG. Still a lot of utility though that will be looking WildCard in the face as they're pushing on into castle barricades and the mirror windows especially. But Fultz in a very forward position inside of the humidor. I think WildCard will look to focus all their pressure on that position as quick as they can.
M80 を OT 勝ちしたのか。あ、そうかそうか。で、オキシゲン勝ったよね。あ、オキシゲン負けたよね。
The very first kill, and he's going to kill his old-time duo. Also go down. These two have been on teams, off teams, competitors, friends, everything under the sun. And this time around, it will be Merc delivering the death knell to Fultz in this iteration.
Ooh, very quick spray by Ashen. Does find Merc, so no Organized Chaos members to play in this round, unfortunately.
下から抜いたのか、8越しに。
And still the upstairs held tight by SSG over on the cocktail side, but this is mining and dining, and as we saw during the Mirage game, you don't need to take the entire control of that top floor to win, and Spirits has that idea firmly implanted in his head. Sees the player playing inside a reading, and so does Hot and Cold, the very player Spirits is shooting at. Twitch now forced to back off. No lurk on white stairs.
来週DarkZero と終わり
Just
か
yet. Surf using
最
that
終戦だよね
skeleton key
確か
to
ね
open up the holes down into mining itself. This is where we see WildCard making the firm decision at this point. They are not pushing for the entire third floor control. They are perfectly content with the control they have at the moment and are only going for a half clear. Now it's on SSG and specifically players like Ashen to go for a retake to try to stop this attack from gaining any further progress.
You gotta be worried, especially because WildCard. There's a plant going down. Oh no! Misposition of the scope from Adam. It'll go unchecked, but at least the plant will go down. They'll maintain this. They'll lose the planter and the likes of Packer. 2 versus 4 now with Spirits.
Wow,
Huge 2K from him. Little bit more to do here, but
まあ
this
自
is
分たちの
definitely
そっち側から来たからもうないっていう判断だ
especially
った
with
ん
the
だろう
positioning
な
here. They think they know. They think they have the coverage. It'll be up to Spirits.
いやこれ上からカバーできないまずい
He's got the background noise covered. He's got the one in the hallway too. Back and forth they go. Very minimal time remaining. Hot
Ah,
pull
一応分かった分かった
halfway through the defuse. But J90 slips through the cracks.
ア
Not
シ
only
ュン
that,
マ
but
ジで
it's
少
gonna be
年
the
の感じでいいよ
super-
ね喜び方が
Solid.
いやでもね今までで一番スピリッツの立ち回りいいよねこのチームでのスピリッツマジで CGIQ 高い選手だなって思った
Adding some nice holes here
そんなに
inside of
高いイメージな
dining.
かったんだけ
And so
どな
across you can make something that was a little bit difficult, throughout the history of
Trophy
Siege
charm
came down to it because of the caliber-based destruction not being as bold
Jackie
as it is now with the DMRs, but you can clear out that nice angle for 90 down low.
どれトロフィーチャーム
Rotations and all that kind of stuff can get headed off for him here for like
どのチャームの
minutes.
ことか分かんない
But it send everything else up the top floor. Breaking up some of these
誰がつけて
patches
た
and
や
start
つか
transferring
誰が
this
つけたやつ
more
オ
to
ペレナ
top
カースター変わってる
clear
からな
an info game. See what they have built up on this mid level.
Nice camera pickup by Adam right there. Able to hold the flank down in the red hallway if they so choose. A lot of different gadgets able to pick up with these Kludge drones. Might not necessarily be directly aiding the top floor clear that's also going on while all this is happening. But it would certainly make the later round a lot easier.
今スピリッツ壊してよかったのかこれは壊さない
Unnecessary right there. Spirit's just shooting the very drone that Adam hacked, but hey, whatever. That's fine. Now we're sure the Fenrir is not there. Force spotted down below inside of the train and very quickly dealt with. Right as he threw a C4,
こういうところなんだよねスピリッツがうまいなと思うところ
Spirits make sure he doesn't have time to detonate it. Now WildCard can start fully focusing on this top floor, either clearing out or holding these angles. It appears right now maybe another half clear is in mind.
パッカー見たら確認するね
They're gonna have to at least deal with mining here.
まあでも俺も全てのチャーム分かるわけじゃないか
Might be the
ら
answer for this.
プレイしてる時の
Takedown Merc.
あれは分かると思うんだ
Call it a nice little 9 iron there.
ホットゴールド
Driver.
も強えないから
Nice little chipper. Take out that first kill. Able to equalize here for them as they did lose Forrest earlier on. He not really able to find his stride just yet, but as we know about Forrest, it really just takes one big round from him. It's really not the KD you're looking at when you're looking at Forrest.
ちょっと待ってパッカー早い
Style and
パッカー順に切り替えて
just how wicked he can be
順に
in
切
some
り
of
替え
these
て
clutch moments or once he gets off into the
見えねえチャームが見えねえなんか金色のチラッとしたの見えるけど
Speaking of that,
バカ
we're
インジャ
almost
しちゃっ
there.
た
And yes, indeed, we are going to get that action. WildCard actually getting sent to the wolves. SSG eviscerating them at every single corner. It's down to Adam now as he's found his way into dining, been able to manage his life as of now, but doesn't seem like he'll be able to manage it too much longer. Ashen shows up yet again for Space Day.
ホットンとニックス親戚なのになぜこんなに違うのか草
The back
でも親戚はあんま変わんないんじゃない
did strategize.
あんま変わんないんじゃない
It's working out extremely well for them.
親戚ってさ俺全然俺も親戚で年齢近い人いるけど全然違うね
And also, you know, it is still
家庭環境違うとそれは違うだろう
WildCard don't have the same foothold inside of that time span now either, due to the fact that SSG are not only able to obviously keep that man count up, but back to that original statement, map control and the way that they're able to shut down WildCard as of right now, gathering these pieces.
俺フォレストとホッタンが組んで面白いなと思ったのはさ やっぱこういうCGIQ の高さでとんでもない差し込みしてくんだよこの2人って。それがさフォレストが行ったりホッタンコールドが行ったりしたらもう相手チームを追い切れないんじゃないかなっていう予想があったの。
SSG start off with a 5v4. Nobody from WildCard in a position to trade that back, though Merc is in a position to get a kill maybe next 15 to 20 seconds or so. Worked himself into dining, where Forrest is just across the hallway in the next room over. Drone following suit will spot that Jaeger inside a reading.
うわいいフラグ。
Right now, instead knows someone's inside a freezer.
カバーライン上からのカバーライン先に見てるとカバーラインさらに奥から来た。
Still gone completely unread. Both kills for SSG due to that P90 and SMG11 combo, and everyone from WildCard left picking up the pieces whenever hot and cold.
最近はファンからのフルス叩きが多い。へえ。
Well, so far not so good for WildCard. We had that first
まあでもなんか
round, but past
若干
that,
フル
it's
ーツ
been
空
the
気だよ
spirit
な
show.
ぶっちゃけ厳しく
Hasn't been able to
なんかあんまり
really
チー
do
ム
too
に貢
much
献してるよう
past
に
that
見えない
first one either. Maybe the swing in for Heaven. Adam waiting. He is supposed to pop this EE1D.
今のところこの2チームの印象はどんな感じですか？ワイルドカードはぶっちゃけメジャーに来ても全然驚かないクオリティですね。メジャーでも成績残すんじゃないかなと思う。一方の SSG はマジで何を核にして戦うチームなのかがよくわかりません。お、アイジャッキーさん、ほらありがとうございます。ごめんね、ちょっとチャーム見えたらマジで確認するけど。ゾフィアになっちゃった。
Right now, they're going to try and reassess the top floor, send it back up sky high on the white stairwell, losing a body. They'll put J90 down to the 1 versus 3, make it a 1 versus 2, but he won't live too long, will he? Going to be wild cards round there, although it really looked.
But if Spirits loses that there, not only do you lose that position, but Spirits has been losing it.
いやワイルドカードマジで強い。ラインの作り方がマジで綺麗なんだよね。それでいてそのマークのパワフルなツッコミとスピリッツの CGIQ 使った別角度のカバーとかロックが入るから。であともサーフパッパっていうところが着実にさミスなく仕事するからさ。
I would hope so, especially given, again, the stakes going on. Maybe not much for WildCard, but for SSG, a team that, given the players, given the org's reputation, finding themselves in this position in the stage where they are fighting for not just, you know, a decided position in general, but the last spot to make it into the playoffs, to be forced to play through the bracket, the open qualifiers, not the spot you want to be in. These past couple rounds have proven they're still here to fight. I mean, even the results they've had is, I think, the team with the most overtime games, let alone overtime losses. SSG, they might be in a tough spot, but they have clawed their way for what they've had so far and been so close to being in a dramatically different position. Speaking of hot and cold, bullets colliding through windows, through the wall, and his somehow landed, despite 3 different sprays, all intersecting around him. Might just go for the run up with a flashbang, shut down his position. That doesn't stop it. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a goddamn about your flashbangs. Throw the impact grenade, but put himself to 1 HP. At this point, he's just trying best to stall out time. I say I was hoping for a lot more from that run out, but hey, at least he died with style.
Oh man. Died a soldier's death on that one, fighting for every single inch of that balcony. Could not find the man right around the AC unit, but even though WildCard do have the man advantage right now, Lynx, they are tattered when it comes to their HP bars. The good news for Surf is that he is a 3 armor, so technically he's got a little extra HP in that back pocket. Probably take some extra shots in comparison to some of his companions at the moment, especially for Packer's sake. That is probably the worst thing that you could have happen to you. It's a 3 versus 3, and Ashen, he's starting to heat up. Remember, Packer, he's got no HP. He's dead to rights. Surf to try and get something going here. I think he's trying to get rid of a defense blocker down there.
No, that's I'm not sure what that is, to be perfect. Is that a guy? Is that a dude? Yeah, that's full. He's trying to shoot the shotgun barrel. Hey, I appreciate Surf trying, but unfortunately you're gonna have to face that shotgun one way or another. You're not gonna be able to cheat your way around it. Fultz brings the pain to Packer. Surf's really wishing that shotgun had hitbox right now, but it does not. It does find Ashen. That's a 3K for the new pickup on SSG. They take the lead again.
The timing on that shotgun kill was impeccable. That was so perfect for that build-up. He's gonna have to face the shotgun. Thump.
アシュンはね、アリアルアライズだね。なんか、昨日かいつか忘れたけど、なんかユニフォーム後ろに飾ってたよね。 いや2点
Dude
3点した
outside
ね。
doesn't even kill him. They get
ポッタン
somebody
やられた
inside
時
the
は、あ、
map
これ
to go play
SSG
cleanup duty
ハグ聞い
outside
て
the
たかなと思っ
mining
て。
window. I forget, we really dedicated a replay to surf. Anyway,
いや SSG はそんなに良くないっす。今はぶっちゃけ強気の遊撃が刺さってるぐらいなんで、チームの組織力というよりは個人のパワーでなんとかしてる感じです。逆にワイルドカードは今日はあんままだ乗れてないですね。まあまあ3本取れればカフェだと思いましたね。
Fighting fire with fire. When WildCard wants to make their entries, they're there to try and head it off. They want to try and take those engagements and see if they can come out of it instead. And as we've seen so far, really, really good. So, Space Station, that's more than likely going to be the game plan continuously throughout this, especially on this mid-4 defense. You can see they've got some nice mirror window placement as well as some breakage.
さっき話したオーバータイムまで行ってやつ。
Soft walls
俺も
around
記
this
憶
top
がも
floor.
う試合見すぎて曖昧になってる。
Every drone that we have accessed, I think, actually no.
Cameras
actually debugged out here. I don't know. I don't know if we're rolling through drones. There we go. Okay. My goodness gracious.
I was like,
an old TV there for a second.
I was like, I don't think I've actually seen, I don't think there's been a spectator bug in a while, because it used to be like mute sound bug, drone bug that you get stuck on. I was like, are we going to have another one? It's been like a couple
Start
years.
knocking on wood right now. All the devs are going to be very mad at you.
I'm sorry, Stefan. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
アッシュン5キルこれこそがフォレストの IQ200 5GL。
Every single one of those things.
今のところアッシュンが結構作ってくれてるからな。さっきのビッグモーメント。
little damage coming through onto Space Station. But Ashen, the timing, he finds Merc, the one man you don't want to die on WildCard, the one that can always provide.
いやーでもブラックミラーの裏に対して強気に突っ込んでくるね。あ、これ今見た。今トロフィーチャーム見たよ。あれ大会じゃない全然。普通に確か出てたやつ。結構昔じゃないかな。何のチャームだったか覚えてないけど、何のスキンのセットだったか覚えてない。大会でもらえるやつじゃないですよ確か。普通に販売してたやつだと思う。確かね。でもトロフィー系のねチャームいくつかあるからもしかしたら勘違いしてるかもしれない。多分なんか大会に紐づいたものじゃなかったと思う。あーでもそれで言うと誤解があるかもしれない。もしかしたらそのリーグセットの中の一つだったかもしれないけど。サーフ1はワンチャン音楽聴きながらやってそう。
1v3 for wildcard now. Surf no kills so far. Anyone he get here might just be impactless. There goes the Mira, but there goes SSG.
アッシュの選び替えでいいね。緊張が解けてきたのかな、アッ
Let's
シ
see
ュ
what they can do on their
は。それ
attacks.
もあるかもしれないね。アッシュがいいところでキル取ってくれてるもんな。ファーストブラッドとかね、ここね。
No, not at all. And I will say, SSG again.
She will have the round lead as we switch sides, but all of them now happen to assess things from a completely different viewpoint. Space Station will be adopting the east side of things into their play. Bolt's over here on white top for now. We're trying to break up the window just a tad bit, and this angle is so dastardly. One of my favorites when it comes to cafe. You can not only make it where people can't really rotate up white as safely as they once could, but also with some proper angle work, whether it be from the AC unit out there or Raquel, even better. You can get some crazy angles, partially down the hallway or completely down that hall. Try and deal with things like pixel or players rotating away from the
SSG の進化が問われるのは
SSG to start off and try and hold on to for some time and also allow them to play around the cocktail windows, which is always annoying when you're a defender in that area.
おお、アッシュン行くのか、アッシュで。まあたまにあれだね、アタック
Getting a couple ideas, sees that air jab outside of the snow door.
来た。
Merc gets that first kill though. Talk about a player who was quiet on that attacking half. He's able to start things off very good on the top on SSG right now, Ashen. So very good pickup from him. Maybe if he starts heating up, WildCard's fortunes will shift very, very favorably.
リアルセンズ、確かに。
SSG also now moving
ヘビメタ聞いてそう、勝手なイメージ。いや、それよりもさ、結構可愛いアイドルの音楽聴いてるかもしれない。うわー、そこにいた。
That player's rotated. Spirits might be shut down, but he's picked up faults before being finished off, so he keeps the advantage in WildCard's favor, and it's solidified by Adam with the P90.
いやでもカバー取れず
Now
に。
forced down and both attacking players on opposite sides. Jaina, no, you gotta channel spirits, get the kill on this cocktail balcony. He's made it in, but can he make it out alive? No, he can't. Both halves start for a flawless round for.
this offense.
It's holding their position badly, right? I mean, listen, I know it's Merc we're talking about, but I just don't believe it. No, he's been shot at. He surely leaves now. There we go.
I was going to say, you're doubting Merc? Out of the two people in this game, I'm like, they're definitely peaking. It's probably him, Fultz. Probably. Honestly, there's a lot. There's actually quite a few.
Listen, I'm not doubting Merc. I'm just believing in sense.
There's no such thing as sense in Rainbow Six Siege unless you're talking about the operator sense. That's the only sense that we have when it comes to doing anything in this game. So, Space Station won't even have that though. We'll have the common variety, hopefully. As they haven't lost a body just yet, but they have lost quite a few drones.
結構制限されちゃうんだよね。
Yeah, down to 6 drones, and even at this point, if you make good use with the remaining ones, it won't be the end of you. I mean, the two players that are out drones are Yana with a clone and Fultz with Inox scans, so still intel aplenty for the attack, but now Merc creeping up those stairs. He has even his score line or his KD in 2 rounds now at the very low cost of about half his HP. Maybe identified, but I doubt Merc cares about the intel in his position. He might even feel emboldened by it at this point, taking advantage in between pings to surprise attack the attack. Ashen has worked himself into a nice position though, not to look at the Solus, but to cut off the Jaeger Adams rotation inside of VIP. So if SSG move down the white stairs and pressure that position, they do have a good setup to maybe.
いやでもよくわかんない進行なんだよなあれも。まあドラマあったのかね。
So much damage he's gonna get.
おおでも周りが取り返してくれた。
Wasn't paying attention to brown stairs. Ashen,
yeah,
very well aware of the scenario being presented to him. He knows the entire setup like the back of his hand. Not only that, but also him.
Yeah,
the player for SSG that actually sits in that position over inside of VIP. Isn't that right, my friend? So Ashen very aware that, hey, somebody will probably be playing in this area. Picks him right off as he peeks. Surf, a lot of damage coming in through the verticality. And the other issue, bad news bears for him, his location being called back to the rest of the team. Spirit seems like he knows where one is. Angle being held from J90. Can he get it on the pre-fire? He was looking for it, but doesn't want to flirt with disaster just yet. 27 seconds remain, and although it does look dire for Wildcard, they do have enough health and enough gunpowder to be able to get through this. Past that though, and that's the problem, right? I wanted to see if they would deal with him properly, and they definitely did that, didn't they? Strike grenade that will handle the angle, and Space Station will handle the round.
I mean, like, come on, man. Like, just
ハングリーとパックブルついてフォレストごめん。フォレストはもう殿堂入りなのよ。あのスカーズ戦で見せてくれたじゃん。あれはもうだってまださワイルドのさ僕の大好きハングリーとパックブルはさまだ地域リーグだったんですよ。言うとねベスト8がかかった大事な場面であの距離は俺絶対あれそれいいんじゃんだるよねっていう俺でも分かる距離で壁を壊そうとして何にもプレッシャーがかかってないところで二投せる自爆これは間違いなく殿堂入りです。
X, I know that Brown Stairs is free. Y, I know that Merc is around here somewhere. I kill him, and then Z, the last guy's gotta try and swing me to try and recoup this moment that I just made for myself, right? And every single one of those things came to fruition. Practically clairvoyant. If you would have seen that just like, you know, an off chance and you didn't really know anything about Siege, you'd be like, man, this guy's got to have some like inside knowledge as to what's happening, right? Nope. He is just that damn good, man. And there's a lot of Siege players like him. That's the beauty of Siege, is like there's just so much strategical depth that if somebody has that big brain knowledge, they can simply know what you're doing just by existing in the right place at the right time. So very well done from him, and a great moment there from you, Lynx. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, shout out to me just like fanboying over.
でもなんかあれだね、足を前に出した感じするけど。
Everybody deserves a little fanboy every once in a while.
このマップだからなのかな。
Listen, it was first Gunner when he made the league. Now it's Ashen. There's always got to be a rookie that I have to be like, this is the guy, guys. I promise. Like this is the world breaker right here. This is the final boss. Either way, plenty of veterans in the lobby too. Hot and Cold also having a very solid game for SG so far. Might not be a super impressive scoreline, but the moments he had on the defense were very, very nice and very impactful for SSG's chances. Here on the attack, he's trying to deal with the white stairs position and clear the way for Forest. Not having a great game, but he's trying to recover. Nobody on the bounce position, unfortunately, but he's reached a very tight angle to look at a cocktail. And that one kill, very impactful, as that has basically almost entirely acquired second floor control for SSG. It's forced the wildcard players back, and now at a 5v2. Full vertical established. Wildcard very firmly on the back foot. Now
ダスコム
likely
さんこん
forced
ばん
to
いらっしゃい。
retake top floor eventually with the white stairs
さすがにブ
completely
ラジ
cut
ルは
off
しないです
the
ね。
attacks from
だ
SSG.
ってこのまま行ったら
Again,
なん
after
か
that
0
first
時に終わり
defense
そうだ
have
か
been
ら
excellent.
ゆっくりお風呂入って休めるタイミング
A
だよ。
fully blinded man on
What?
the white
SSG 覚醒してる
stairs
ぞ。
will go down. Ashen properly
これアッシュ前に出してるから機能してんじゃないか。アッシュが結構エリア広げてくれてんだよな。エリア広げられるとそのフォレストとホッタンコールドが入れる余地が出てくるんだよ。
Where was this team?
Where has
Because
this team? I'm sorry. Like, listen.
last week, this was not what we were getting. You want to go off? Go off. Go off.
Like I was about to say, like I'm listen. I need to
ノッ
let
クアウ
you
トステ
finish.
ージ
But like,
デイ1
where
お疲れ様で
has
した。あり
this
がとうござい
team
ます。
been?
見てくれた逆にあり
Where
がとうござい
has
ま
it
す。
been? The playing by the cocktail.
It was amazing. Hyper
Off now, like you know, that's how you know.
稲妻さんフォローありがとうございます。
Siege is I'm like, oh boy, 7-3, let's
いや
go,
ー
boys.
先にマッチ
I
取ら
mean,
れた
seriously,
か。
in the rounds, Wildcard
いやでもワイルドカードは
they've been
ね
very
マップ
impressive
増え
as
ていくこと
well.
に
But
手
SSG
数
has
本当
just
にある
been
ん
the
かいって
better
状況に
team.
なって
They've
る
been
か
more
ら
disciplined
な。
on their defense, and they've been more coordinated on their attacks. Now, obviously, Wildcard have taken their time out. They need a flawless site rotation to bring us to overtime.
勝
And
ったら
again,
ミ
they're
ラージと
already in
逆転するんじ
playoffs,
ゃない
but it's more to stop SSG's
ちょっと
chances
最後ポイント見てみ
from
ないと分かんない
pushing for a
一試合少ないんじゃない
contest
かな。
for
まだ
that
どう
sixth
だろう。
placed position
6
to
試合で
make it
7
into
個
the deciders. SSG are going with that full clear again. And hasn't been perfect on the attack, no.
実況が
But
この
their
チーム
entries
ど
have
こにい
been
たんだよ
there,
これ
and
これ
the
ってテンションが
follow-up
上がって
has
る分か
been
る
there
分
as
かる。
well so far from
でもサーフ
SSG.
前にサーフじゃないアッシン前に出したからマジでハマってるぞこれ。 13の6だしな。防衛でキル取ってたとこも多いけど。ただ森さん1キル取りま
Now,
した。
the one thing I do want to touch on before potentially SSG finishes this and we get sent off to the
勝
desk.
ったら直結で決まる。うわ楽しみ
SSG,
だ
I
ね。
mean, Spears has something to say.
ああ
about it,
妖
right?
怪
He
ド
slows
ローン
down
今
for a
走って
little
た
while.
ね。
Space Station in this iteration of the roster with the
やらしいね。
backstaffing that they have, this is what we expected out of them, right? You don't have a coach like
マジで
Callout,
ス
you
ピリ
don't
ッ
have
ツの
players
このロ
like
グハウスみ
Colts,
たい
like
にすごい好
Hot
きな
like
の。
Forest. All on this squad
秘密基
to
地感
have
が
this
マジ
team
で
be lackluster. In
それでい
fact,
て
this
何
should
も
be one of the
他
best
に
teams
ゲームや
inside
る
of
以外
North
に何も
America,
設備が整って
especially if
いなさ
Ashen is
そうな雰
capable
囲
of
気。
what he's doing right now. You have, I mean, so many just hallmark names that have stood the test of time in NA and have been on multiple different iterations of rosters. There is no reason for you to be performing poorly. And now it seems like they've kind of found themselves, which fortunately enough for you and I and everybody at home, that is a great thing. We love Space Station, we love that org, we love these players, and it's always good to see them playing well. Wildcard still with a chance. They did have that pickup earlier on Jane, I know. We're down to the last minute now, and another one will happen on the Colt. So looking like they might be able to elongate this a little while longer on this kitchen defense.
Yeah, and to Wildcard's credit, I mean, the strategy has been there as well.
うわ、す
Opening
ごい
pick
ところで
achieved
見
in
て
the
るね、
round
マ
by
ーク。
driving a yokai drone out the bakery door to find Janano on that rappel, and then Fultz is shut down 1v1 through the floor. I mean, that's going to happen sometimes. So Wildcard, they're still individually in it. But, well,
あー、フォレ
that's
スト止まっちゃってる。
Forrest, I think, lagging out,
ちょいちょい
unfortunately.
出てん
And,
ね。
Ashen,
スネークも
13 and
出てたんだけ
6,
どな。
perhaps, but is effectively indeed.
友達さんの明日の
Actually,
勝利予想
Fultz
聞かせてく
gone
だ
through a lot
さ
of
い。
people lagging on the side of SSG, I suppose. Ashen's
CAG
not,
と
though.
スカーズ。
Ashen's here.
Smart man, too. He's going to sit right outside the truck. He's like, I am not affecting this.
この辺か？いや、これまだ始まってんねや、多分。長いね。見えないぞ。この辺か？おいけだ。
Gonna be pretty focused on this one, huh? Trying to make sure that they can
決めきれるか
close this down
SSG。
before it gets to max regulation.
フルーツ内落ちしてない。
Also, Ghana shifting hands to J9O. Ashen bringing up the cap.
回線問題なんだろうね。
Still
やっ
an
ぱ
operator. He will
アメ
most
リカ
certainly
でけ
be
え
able
か
to
ら
get
な
some。very nice plays on if he's positioned accordingly. As you said, it is on the top floor, so with those smokes, you can easily cut off a lot of swings from that cocktail position, a lot of angles that if you want to push in from Cigar would be useful. That's also assuming SSG want to go that way, because there is not just one. But I swear to God, it might be the entire team on the rappel momentarily.
でもエアコンつけすぎて
There's
スト
still
ーブ
one
つけ
guy
て
on
た
the
か
roof.
ら。
It's just 4 people on rappel now. Very
Fruits
minuscule
結構
number.
喋
All
っ
of
てるよ。
SSG prepping for a very quick cocktail take, but a C4 will force Hot and Cold back for just a little bit.
わあ、イースト
All the
全力攻め。
utility flying in, the smoke bolts and
これ
likely
行くんじゃない？
fire bolts going down too.
あー、突破した。
SSG all get 2 kills extremely quickly,
い
but
や、
Spirits has a
ラ
long
ペリング
angle
とフラグ
inside
で
a cigar.
キルできただけなのか。
Anybody from
シフトチェンジしたここ
into
で。
the heaven window.
マジか。
Skylight Sand. Maybe where the next action happens. No, it's a full rotate. That is actually insane level of discipline. Oh my God.
I actually can't, man. This is, wow. I'm thoroughly impressed by what we're seeing from Space Station right here. Not only Lynx were they capable of setting up their entire take for that side, but they made it seem like a rush. All the wildcard respawns, they're now going to kill their third person from window repels, Lynxifer.
盤面的にはかなり SSG。
because of it. This is a strategy and a half. Shout out to the backstabbing for Space Station yet again. Shout out to Call Out.
じゃあフォレストもうほぼ勝ちないじゃん。IGL もしてない。
Beautiful.
あ、でも最後キル取ってたぞフォレスト。
way, man. God damn it, Space Station Gaming. You are so.
いや、よくワイルドカードに勝ったね。
It is mind-boggling sometimes. They
いや、これ足を前にしたの俺正解だと思う。
fashion that I don't think you and I ever thought that they were capable of walking into this.
Oh no, and playoffs still very much the hopes still very much alive for SSG, but that's for the devs to talk about the implications of this match. We'll throw it back to them after this short break.
フォレストはスランプかもね。なんか納得いってない顔がすごい見えた。よし、じゃあ最後にこれでスーパーウィーク3日間見切りましたよ。私頑張りました。最後に、ノースアメリカ見ていきましょう。これが順位表でございまして、トップ6はもう5チームまで決まったんだね。まあでもそうだね、5位と6位の間に4ポイントの差もあるのか。そりゃそうだわ。で885、ルミノシティもワンチャンあんだね。これでもルミノシティが上がる未来ってあるの？2戦あるのか、ルミノ。ルミノ2戦あるんだ。しかも1つビーストコーストか。全然あるね。SSG も一応2戦あるから、ミラージュに対して圧倒的有利なのは SSG なんだ。なるほど、なるほど。で、上位の順位は、M80。首位に躍り出ましたか。今日1戦だけしかなかったんですけれども、同じくワイルドカードが1戦だって、負けちったので3ポイント取って逆転したわけですな。なるほどなるほど。でダークゼロはあと2戦残ってんだ。ということはそのうち1つがワイルドカードなので3ポイント取ればワイルドカードに対して確実に上に行きますね。かつ M80 は1試合なので6ポイント取ったら19ポイントなので、まあでもラウンドのこの獲得率見るとちょっと M80 がいきそうだな。19ポイントで並んじゃったらまあまあって感じが。でもそうか、ダークゼロはワイルドカードよりも上に行く可能性があるんだ。でオキシもあと1戦だから3ポイント取って15ポイントにしたとしてもここの直帯残ってるからオキシが2位以内に入ることは多分ないな、これな。でもここ直帯だけど、でも SSG ポイント取れる可能性が 2試合あるから有利だね。やっぱ全然有利だね。ライバルはルミノかもしんないね、SSG は。いや、ミラージュ頑張ったんだけどね。でもよく勝ったな。このビーストコースはよく勝ったと思う。ここはもうなすすべなしだった、M80 は今日見たら。はい、というわけで次回は9月21日朝4時からということでございまして。この日俺ちょっと見えないかもしんないな。21でしょ。21って木曜日かな。ゲームショーのビジネスデー行く日かもしんない。はい、というわけでありがとうございました。素晴らしい。今日 RJL 実況担当したのに俺6マップさらに追加で見て0時に終わりました。ありがとうございます。皆さんのおかげです。それでは最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。また Twitch のこちらのライブ配信でお会いしましょう。ではでは。